Real Nerds is a proud partner of the Denver Podcast Network. In the shadow of the mountains, we speak.
Hi, my name is Paul Caroli, and I host a podcast called Changing Denver. It's a monthly show about our city's physical spaces, how we make them, and how they make us. But it's so much more than that. It's the conversations, ideas, and stories that define Denver's perpetual state of flux. Find more from our team at changingdenver.com and join the conversation on Twitter at changingdenver. Denver's changing. We can help.
Oh, hi, podcast listeners. There's many ways you can listen to the Real Nerds podcast. You can subscribe on iTunes. You can also subscribe on Stitcher Radio. You want to send us a Twitter message? You can do that. It's so easy, at Real Nerds. Like us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast. You can visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com, where there'll be a lot of articles for you to not only read, but to listen to our previous shows. You can also call us, 720-6NERDS5. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the show.
I'm Andre Gower.
And I'm Ryan Lambert.
And you're listening to
Real Nerds Podcast.
Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast at Denver Comic-Con 2019 and beyond. And it is a special week here on Real Nerds Podcast. Yay. All the nerds are in the house.
Yay!
It's almost like there's a movie we all wanted to see this week.
I was just going to say, Shane Black brings them out, man.
He does. We have...
Oh, James.
James, how long has it been?
Like 5 weeks.
Yeah.
I was in Houston. I was in Arkansas. I was in Fairplay. I was sick.
I think your last episode was your 300th, by the way. We totally didn't acknowledge it.
No, I think I didn't show up that week.
Yeah, he didn't show up that week.
Yeah,
I think it's this one.
Yeah, this is the 300.
No, it was the last one you were on. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Well, you made it to 300 Club.
There we go.
This is 301 for you.
I hate. Oh no, the 700 Club. That's the show I hated. Even as a 10-year-old, I was like, "This is bad Christianity. You guys don't know what you're talking about."
I always remembered it was on just before cartoons.
Holy shit, you've been on for 5 weeks?
I misread it and thought it was the 007 Club.
You'd wake up, go down, turn on the TV, and be like, "God damn it! Why aren't the cartoons on yet?"
You've been gone for 5 weeks. Your last episode was "Shut Up, Meg."
Yeah, I know.
That was your 300th.
Yeah,
shark movie.
Yeah.
Yep. We also have Zach.
That's appropriate.
Oh, hi, I'm here.
Zach, your hat looks worse for wear.
I know. I need to get a new one. It's a Batman hat for those.
It is Batman.
If you peel the Batman off there and then you buy a nice new hat, I can have that Batman sewed onto the hat.
Ooh, I might just do that then.
Yeah.
But you're going to be able to sew in the registered trademark.
I mean, you'd have to be nice to my mom.
I mean, like, I don't care.
I don't sew, but my mom will do it.
If someone asks, I'll just be like, it's a Chinese knockoff.
There you go.
And Brad, what episode number is this for you?
I am 2 weeks away from my 300th.
Nice.
Which is going to be Venom.
Wait, that movie's only 2 weeks away?
I'm going to skip a week, so my 300th can be First Man.
All right. Oh, jeez.
That movie's only 3 weeks away.
Yep.
It's going to start getting good. I'm going to have to start coming to this goddamn podcast.
But the good news is that Zach's streak ended. So
it did.
Yes!
Yeah, thanks to Henry.
Thanks to Henry. So it's anyone's game for the next longest streak.
Well, as long as we do it on days I don't work, I'll always be here.
Yeah.
Because I have this job that sometimes I get stuck at, and it's...
Oh, you're a baker. That's right.
Yes.
I forgot. Yeah.
And someone's got to make the donuts.
Someone's got to fry that dough, man.
Yeah.
This might as well be
I already
me.
made the donuts. Yep. Any, what was that, Dunkin' Donuts? Old school ad?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Us 80s kids over here.
Yep. Totally 80s style.
I'm a 90s kid.
I was in the 80s.
Yep. I was coming up on your birthday. Is your birthday Venom week?
Yeah.
That sucks.
You get a better
Hey, you know what? Maybe it'll be awesome.
You get a better
knows?
birthday present a
I
week
think
later.
I think it is.
I didn't realize the director also did Zombieland.
Yeah.
But also Gangster Squad.
Yeah, he's had a rough time of it.
30 minutes or less.
He's an up and down career.
Yeah. There's some good stuff in there.
Yeah.
He's interesting,
Zombieland.
to say the
Yeah.
least. Ruben Fleischer.
So we'll see if it's
Venom might be fine. I hear
Yeah.
there's going to be an unrated cut.
like that matters. But it,
I know it doesn't.
That's every time they're like, it needs to be rated R. I'm like, I don't think Venom's rated R in the comics.
Right, like it's for kids. Like, why are we watching him like what eat people and?
I'm really close to trading in my Lethal Protector #1 because I'm watching it. It keeps on going up in value.
Yeah.
And I'm going to walk into Andrew and be like, I don't want this. Give me an old Spider-Man.
Give me something good.
Give me Spider-Man #1.
Yeah, God. If that ever happened where Venom Lethal Protector #1 is worth as much as Amazing Spider-Man #1, you'll find me hanging by my neck because that means everything's gone to shit.
Yeah.
Like some books that keep on creeping up in value, like Saga. I mean, it's a great book.
Mm-hmm.
Deadly Class keeps on going up. Things like that. I don't care, but like Lethal Protector, not that great. Also, I guess I have one that. So I guess there's more than one symbiote in this this film.
Oh yeah.
And I guess the first appearance of one of them is, I think, Lethal Protector 5 or something. I have it, and it's worth more than the first appearance.
Oh wow.
Or the first issue of the miniseries. I'm just gonna trade them all in because I don't give a shit.
Sounded like a
because now's probably the time because it will probably never be worth as much unless Marvel makes a Marvel movie with Venom in it.
Yeah.
And Gray Venom.
Well, it's weird. I have these
Grenum?
issues that are really Grenum, that keep on skyrocketing. So Captain Marvel's first appearance, Carol Danvers' first appearance as Captain Marvel is in Avenging Spider-Man #9.
Oh.
And it's like a $700 comic right now.
Oh shit.
Because it's Avenging Spider-Man #9, so no one cares about it.
Right.
And so it's under-ordered. And then they're like, oh shit, this is actually a big deal. Now everybody wants it. So it's like one of my most valuable comics.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know it.
Yeah. And the question is, will it be more or less valuable in like April?
Exactly. So the thing is, I'm always, I don't know, that one might stay because, so Carol Danvers and Miss Marvel.
Well, it could blow up though. If it Wonder Woman's and everybody goes and sees it and they're like, holy shit, Carol Danvers is dope as shit.
If
like
it Wonder Woman's.
Yeah,
I like that term.
But see, I'm always in this conundrum. So I always, some of like the Spider-Mans I'll just never be able to afford them ever.
Right.
Because I'm not going to drop $1,000 for a comic. I'm just not going to do it.
Right.
Unless I win the lottery.
But if you don't
But at the
care
same
about
time,
that issue as a
exactly.
Spider-Man issue,
but it
and
breaks
you could
up my
buy
run of Avenging Spider-Man.
Yeah, but it's Avenging Spider-Man.
Exactly. So that's
like,
where
if you could sell it and then go buy a really good Amazing
exactly
that you don't have,
like the
and
first
you're
appearance
never
of if I could trade that for the first appearance of Mysterio,
yes,
I would do it in a heartbeat.
Right. Exactly.
So that's where I'm at right now with that. That's where I'm at. Yep.
Fascinating.
That's what we do when we're nerds. Every week on Real Nerds Podcast, we go see a new movie and we podcast our experience of the world. This week we saw The Predator.
Yeah.
Stay tuned to the end of the show where we'll review the movie, play the trailer, and say if and spoil. There's actually spoilers in this one. So,
oh hell yeah!
Oh yeah.
We will definitely spoil this one.
So stay tuned. Let's talk about movies we've been watching, movie news, and movies that are coming out on Blu-ray. And we were talking about the Spider-Man video game, which is amazing.
Oh my god, it's so much fun.
So do you switch out of his? I switch him back to the Amazing costume.
I'm usually in the Amazing costume. I've been in the Homecoming costume a little bit lately, and there was one mission where I was doing some stealth stuff, so I put him in the Noir costume. I buy the other ones because I want the suit powers. And then
Kellen really likes a Scarlet Spider costume.
Of course, because he's a kid, and that's when you like Scarlet Spider's costume.
I mean, he has a hoodie.
He's like dope. I've never even put on that one. I just got one of the. There's a black one at some point. It's not the black suit yet, but I got a cooler one.
What's cool though is you can unlock the powers and put them on any suit.
Right, exactly.
So you don't have to wear that suit, which is cool.
Yeah.
Can you get the suit from the Tobey Maguire films, or are they just
I don't
ignoring
think
that?
so.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, I think it's pretty close
so
to Amazing.
Close to the Amazing one that it's like, and we don't know. I don't know yet. I mean, there's 30 suits, something like that. Like there's a bunch, and there's actually more than what you see at the beginning. So there may be 35 or 40.
Yeah,
because as you unlock certain side projects and stuff like that you can do, all of a sudden there's some new ones that pop up at the bottom. So
I got
could be in there. Like the amazing Spider-Man suit is in there somewhere.
Yeah, and I'm trying really hard to not look at any cheats or anything because I'm trying to discover the game on my own. So I haven't really read reviews for it. I mean, obviously I know that everyone gives me good reviews, but I'm trying to just play the game. I do that with Resident Evils and things like that.
I'm surprised how much I'm enjoying doing the side stuff,
even
the dumb shit. And I think partially it's because just swinging between the buildings is so satisfying.
Yeah,
that literally I'll just sit there for an hour and a half and just run around and get backpacks.
But I love just doing parkour and just saying parkour constantly.
Yeah, right.
Because if you just hold down a button and make him run, he'll automatically like jump from places. Yeah. It's pretty awesome. Like, have you ran up a bunch of fire escapes?
Oh yes,
where
fire
he like
escapes
shoots
is great.
and he's like flying in. I'm like, oh, it's awesome.
Every now and then he'll just do like you'll hit a button or you'll jump through something and he'll do it in the coolest way that you weren't expecting. Like there's just these funny little animations that are hidden for things like that. Like he'll swing through the fire escape as well, which is really neat.
Yep.
So
there's
I can't.
One of my friends on Facebook said his girlfriend was having trouble with it because of the shitty camera. I'm like, oh, she's just shitty at web swinging.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to say that.
You literally just
there.
hold down R2 and point a direction.
Yep. It's not hard. It's like the easiest thing. And it's really satisfying, too, when you're fighting a bunch of bad guys. Yeah. And you can, like, web them up and then jump off walls and combo off walls. And, oh, it's so awesome.
Yeah. I think I'm finally getting pretty good at the fighting. Like
it took a little bit for me, too. Especially the big dudes. It took me a while for the big guys because they come up and cold cock you from behind.
Well, and because I'm finally getting to a place where I use some of the other things. Mm-hmm. Early on, I was just punching everyone. Yeah. So it was just like punch, dodge, punch, punch, you know. So I'd get to points where I was just constantly dodging until I could punch a dude and then dodge a bunch and then punch a dude. You know? Yeah,
and I was saying for a long time, if they just took the basic concept of the Arkham games and applied it to Spider-Man, it'd work.
That's what they did.
And that's what they did, because Arkham has the same like fighting style, but you just incorporate Spider-Man's agility to it, and it's amazing.
And even some of the things where it's like, oh, this is their Riddler trophy equivalent.
Yeah.
Or this is that, you know.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
You make it Spider-Man. Like, the humor's great. I love Spider Cop.
Yeah, Spider Cop is good.
So Spider-Man is working with the captain of the police force, and he keeps inner monologuing himself. Spider Cop is on the trail. He's a grizzled vet. He's seen a lot. It's pretty great.
I was we were going to bed the other night, and I turned to Brooks. I was like, so today I failed to pay my rent, and I got evicted, and my landlord threw all my stuff out, and I had to chase down the trash truck driver so that I could get my stuff back because all my spider research was in there. And she's like, God damn it, you're talking about the game, aren't you? Yeah.
But there's also those fun ones they change it up every once in a while, like the armed robberies where you go in there and then the dudes start taking off.
Yeah.
And you got to chase them and web them down.
Yeah, the car stuff was hard for a while.
Once you get fast, it's not too bad.
Once I figured out how that worked, I was like, oh, okay, cool. It's really just quick-timey stuff. So
I got to get a PS4 now.
Yeah, cool people do.
It's great.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've never aspired to be cool. I just want to play this game.
Well, that's good because you're not.
I don't care about the status symbol, and also I know.
We're really enthralling Brad. He's looking at his emails.
Yeah.
I heard there's a
and my mom. I can hear my mom fast forwarding right now.
But me and James are having fun. Go Spidey.
Yeah, it's so good.
That's the name of the next game. Go Spidey. Go.
Seriously, we need to move on because I got to go home.
For what?
To play Spider-Man. What the fuck?
Oh, that's right. No, I have to spend time with my wife today.
Oh.
She wanted to come down here so bad, and she's like not feeling well.
Oh.
I said, why don't you just stay home? I'll take Kellen, and you can not do anything. And, you know, my wife, she has to be doing something. Mm-hmm. So, even yesterday, I had Kellen all day, and I was already planning on going to Target because I need to get, like, a hardwood floor cleaner. So I was getting Kellen, and she's like, I don't feel good.
When Laura gets sick, she talks like that?
Yeah, it's weird. And so
She's got Trey Parkeritis.
She does. So I told her, I said, well, and she said, I have just so much to do. I said, well, what do you have to do in the 4 hours before you get to work that's so important? Well, I mean, I got to do laundry, and I got to make the beds. I said, do you got to do that stuff? Or do you want to do that stuff? And she didn't have an answer for me. She basically rolled her eyes, which is her version of fuck you. And I said, okay. See you later.
Just say to her next time, chores are an illusion created by society.
And I came home. I obviously I did that stuff, and she's like, "Oh, thank you." I thought I was gonna have to come home and do it. I'm like, "Why? Just go to bed."
Yeah.
But my wife is really silly like that. Always has to be doing something. Never can sit down and just. Even when she reads, she has to go somewhere to read. Like she'll go to like a brewery or
so people can watch her read.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, yeah,
she's goofy. Like, why don't you just stay home and do
I stopped
nothing?
reading. I just have audiobooks now.
Yeah?
Walk the dog, read a book.
You're not really reading it then, are you?
No, but I heard it.
Yep. Anyways, this is what's happening around town with Brad.
Hey, film buddies, follow me around Denver.
Bread's up goody to a motorcycle. It rumbles your town. It rumbles all the way down 6th Avenue.
I have a motorcycle now because last week my Vesca crashed and burned.
Yep.
Vesca.
Vesca, yeah.
Crash and burned. But you know what? You survived.
Yep. I mean,
when you
Is it really
crash
living,
and there was
though?
gas all over your face, you went, Rachel! But you made it. You made it. And you know what? Your surgery looks great. You still look like Brad.
but deep down
But
inside,
deep
the
down,
scars are still there.
The scars may be healed on the outside, but in the inside.
This week at the drive-in. It's still Crazy Rich Asians, The Meg, and The Nun.
Cool.
Not in that order, sorry. The Crazy Rich Asians, The Nun, and The Meg.
Weird.
So
you think the nun would be at the end?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would too.
Well, I saw it's not that scary.
Well, no, it's not scary.
Yeah, it's not about the scary.
It's
It's about. I can see people wanting to come see Crazy Rich Asians and the Meg, and then families not wanting to
I think
stay for the Meg.
The Meg is like 4 weeks out.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So yeah, $8.
Not
3
bad.
movies under the stars.
Hard
It's
to beat.
great.
Yeah.
Check it out. And then the Esquire midnight this week is Akira.
I've never seen that.
Really?
You're fine.
I think I've mentioned this before, but I mean, that Blu-ray is always like $9 at Best Buy, so you can pick it up and watch it.
Or you could go to the Esquire and see it.
Yeah, you can
That's
go
true. Yeah.
Experience how it's meant to be
for
experienced.
$9.50. So for
For 50 cents
At midnight.
less.
2/4
Yes.
more.
No, 49 cents less. I'm sorry, because I'm not counting tax on this.
At midnight with a bunch of anime fans.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think I'm just going to get the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
This is my favorite part.
Every fandoms are fine,
I
but
think they're doing it in Japanese with English subtitles. So if you got the Blu-ray, you could watch it in English with Japanese subtitles.
okay.
I actually told someone to shut up on my movie this week.
Yeah, at the
Yeah.
Alamo.
No,
Cheating.
it sucks because
Oh,
I
no, I know.
was going to see it with you guys, and then Laura's like, "Well, I picked up a shift," and then my mom texted me and said, "Oh, I'm going out of town," so I had no one to watch my kid. Could I? Take
You
him
should
to
have just brought him to the Predator.
bring him to the Predator?
No.
And so I had to see it at 10 in the morning at AMC, and I sit down, and it's 10 in the morning. No one's seeing the Predator at 10 in the morning except for me and like 3 people,
Right.
and so I'm in like row E.
Did Zach Galifianakis come sit right next to you?
That'd be fine. As in row E, all by myself, and then some dude sits like 3 seats away from me in row E, and the movie starts. And he starts getting on his phone, and it rings, and he says hello, and I go, "Shut up!" and then he got up and left. I never came back, so I win.
Good. His mom died.
Yeah, that's all right.
So
Someone's holding my wife and baby hostage. The culprit told me not to
predator.
tell anybody.
there's a Predator holding his wife and
He's
baby.
he's writing out a suicide note. I went to the theater and my mom died, and some guy told me to shut up. So now I'm going to hang myself so no one can ever hear me again.
because I knew he was right.
Officer Frost, we've got a suicide for you to come and take a look at here.
Seriously, just turn your phone off. Your mom will still be dead after the movie. Like,
Yeah.
Come on.
Ryan shows up to the suicide. He's like, he did.
He did
shut up.
He did shut up. I guess he shut up.
Frost, you know something about this?
Forever.
No, Chief, not at all.
Wait. For people listening home, I put on my sunglasses. I guess he did shut up.
Visual gags.
Forever.
I was a little too early on that, but
Yeah.
like David Caruso, man.
CSI Miami. I wouldn't even
yeah.
know what that show is anymore.
I think it's still
Yeah.
on.
If you
No.
encouraged him to kill himself, does that make you an accomplice?
You can be charged with manslaughter. Some girl just had that happen to her.
Yeah, because of the texting.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah, I
She
mean,
shouldn't have done that.
You have to prove that
Right.
your intent was for them to kill themselves.
Right.
And that's what's going on around town.
And that's what well, special.
Suicides and triple features.
Verbally assisted
I should
suicide.
also specify that this is for the week of September
I know. I mean, eventually we'll get caught up.
something. What week is this? Because we're on Saturday.
Today's
So
Saturday.
I specified that all those things were for the 21st through the 22nd, 23rd.
Sure.
Yeah.
21st is Friday.
So if this episode comes out late, all this is irrelevant.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll get caught up.
We'll get caught up. We'll
I'm
have
close.
this one and another one,
Peppermint is still on the way.
and then this one.
Yep.
So we can do it. I have faith in this podcasting crew. Also, the Alamo's doing first responders and military free movie tickets for the month of September.
Ooh,
And it's any movie. You just show up and show your ID.
that's cool,
Yeah.
man.
That's why I sent that to my sister on Facebook, and I said, like, now you have no excuses. Now you can come see an Alamo show, and I'll just buy the ticket next to you guys.
Yeah. So, yeah, you should see it. Mandy's
Well, or
there.
like 4 rows
Maybe
back.
that's why she texted me just now and said, like, is the Meg any good? And James gave me the best response to send to her, which was, yes, there is any good in it.
Actually, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna, since there's only 2 of them left out, and it's only 2 weeks away. The second to last open screen night is September 25th. So, $5. Bring your movie, screen it, because this is the second to last chance to do it.
Okay.
Do it.
Oh, shoot, you guys are all here. I can finish my fake trailer now.
I gotta go.
Yep, see ya. And we're back. This is movie news.
It's real news.
Okay, Brad, I'm gonna give you the ultimate. You're the decider. Are we talking about it?
No,
Okay.
let's just move on.
All right.
What are we not talking about?
The Superman.
Oh.
Brian, do you want to yell about how Apple can delete all your movies?
Well, here's the thing with that is it gained traction this week.
Finally, something I care about.
Yeah. Well, no, it gained traction this week, but it's been something we've been saying for years.
Yeah, because Apple is shitty to their customers.
And it's not
Someone
only
finally had graphs and evidence.
yeah, and it's not only Apple though. I mean, I have
Voodoo did it.
yeah,
to me.
Voodoo.
Why
Voodoo
not?
does it because you have to log on to the cloud to get your stuff, even though they're like, oh, you downloaded it. No, you didn't. You still have to log on. If they don't want you, they want to tell you to go fuck yourself. You have to go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I had like digital copies of all the Dirty Harry movies from a
Well, yeah, because
DVD copy.
they run out of their license, and so
Yeah.
then they just yank everything, and they do it with music. I had Amazon, Amazon do it with some music I bought from them.
Mm-hmm.
They'll fucking just pull it. I downloaded it, but then they can, when you update the app, then it blocks it from you, just like they do. And I don't know why it just gained traction this week, but it's something I've been saying for years. If you don't actually own it. It's someone else. Comcast does all the time. If you buy a movie on Comcast digitally and you replace your cable box, you don't have it anymore. That cable box goes away. Mm-hmm. It's just, if you want to watch movies, do it the right way. And 2, let's say so we all go to digital, and Disney's like, oh, well, you're going to have to pay $40 for this movie if you want it, because there's nothing to stop us from charging that much, because you can only get it on our platform. And that's what they want to do. They want you to have to do what they want to do. And they did it with music at Best Buy. You can't get music at Best Buy anymore except for fucking vinyls. They took it all out.
But you know what? I'll pay it because I really want to see the Country Bears again.
Exactly. But that's what I mean. Eventually those force you to do what you don't want to do if you're a collector.
I guess when VHSs came out, the very first ones were like $100.
Oh yeah, I remember. Remember Suncoast?
Yeah.
I mean, I used to get $30 Friday the 13th movies there.
Oh man, those are the days.
Yep.
$34 for a DVD.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting though, like, because I mean, obviously, I can get a bunch of them from work and whatnot. But if you go to Best Buy, like $5.99, if you really want, like, sometimes there's a digital copy in there. But honestly, just start grabbing through those movies.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
you know, like,
yeah.
you start building a library, because guess what? When the nukes hit, all the digital files
and
are
here's
gone.
the
Nukes hit. All we're gonna want to do is watch fucking movies.
And here's the thing too.
That's what I wanna do.
Some
Fuck
of the
y'all.
older movies, they don't have digitally.
Mm-hmm.
So they just don't. I mean, I'm going through Cary Grant's filmography right now.
Oh,
and
you
can't get half the stuff.
Yeah, because even if Amazon says it has it, it actually doesn't.
It doesn't.
And then it says like title unavailable bullshit.
Exactly.
Like only like, and especially from those films from like close to like 60, 70, 80 years ago, the Warner Brothers doesn't want to license them to Amazon because they want you to go to Warner Archive to do it. And I'm just using that as an example, but like also there's not a big audience for them to do that. Like only the people who like you and me who want to watch them are going to watch them.
Yep.
Which sucks.
So support Scream Factory, Criterion, Shout,
Warner
those people.
Archive even.
Yeah, Warner Archives. Warner Archives puts out great stuff. So
Yeah.
keep it going.
Universal and Paramount technically have those too. Olive
They do.
Signature does it.
Also, I'm going to start a personal museum, so if you send money as a donation to me, I'll buy movies that I want, and then I'll preserve them all.
That's nice.
Forever.
The James Hart
Yeah.
Blu-ray Preservation Society.
There will be no Martin Scorsese films allowed.
But,
I mean,
but he's one of the
there's a couple.
premier film preservationists.
You
Yeah.
can donate to
You're
Scarecrow
gonna
Video. Like that's exactly what they do.
Yeah, but no. So people should send money to me. I don't know what Brad's talking about. People should send money to me, and I'll keep a collection.
It's a film library in
No.
Seattle. That I should have dropped a Runner's Pod show at.
What else we got?
That's kind of it. So South Park is using them daring Comedy Central to cancel them as their marketing ploy this season. It's funny that I don't think nobody's canceling South Park unless those guys decided to stop making South Park. But whatever.
Been doing it for 22 years.
The thing is, they're rolling in so much money between the Book of Mormon and the South Park licensing. They probably don't even care.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
Right.
That's why they make episodes that are so funny because they don't care.
Right.
Like you either like them or you don't.
There's a thing about the Predator, but we'll talk about that when we get to the Predator. And then I don't think anybody would be surprised that the idea that if Netflix really did roll out unskippable ads for their own stuff in front of movies, a bunch of people would probably stop subscribing.
Ted Sarantos doesn't care.
But
he doesn't care.
Other than that, I think it's it.
He doesn't care what you think.
Do they need to generate that much more money where they have to put ads in front of it?
Well, so I think because I was thinking about this the other day, especially in light of HBO saying we're just gonna roll up a whole Warner Brothers thing, and all the Warner Brothers stuff is gonna be on a streaming thing, and then there's gonna be a Disney one. And if you think about a weird future where you basically subscribe to a few different streaming services in order to have a complete or a huge collection based on who the main production company is, if that's the future we got to, then Netflix, in order to stay alive, needs to survive entirely on its own stuff.
Yeah.
Which means it's got to get you to a place where you constantly want to have Netflix so that you can watch whatever the new thing is, right? They've got to become like HBO, where
I know I'm still pissing for canceling Joe McHale. So
I know it's really too bad.
Mm-hmm.
A show that probably costs $12 to make.
I've also watched so much just of their stuff that I'm like, there's a lot of this that's really good.
There is.
There's a lot.
They have a lot of shit though. You're like, wow, I don't even know this is what is this?
Oh yeah, the new Coen Brothers movie is coming to Netflix.
Yeah.
That trailer
looks
fun.
great. Yeah. But we just started watching Godless, and the first half of an episode was really good.
Also, they got Roma from Cuarón. Alfonso Cuarón, which has been getting really good buzz. So
yeah,
it sucks because I hope that and Buster Scruggs come to a theater. Steve already said that they're going to do Other Side of the Wind from Netflix, the Orson Welles film, but I think that's just because it's a fucking Orson Welles movie and you can sell that to the Alamo crowd. But.
Sure. Well, but you could sell a Coen Brothers. There was also a thing.
Yeah, but it's just a matter of who are they going to let show it in the theater? Because we don't know what Netflix wants to do with theatrical releases at this point yet.
Yeah, I was going to say the other thing was that IMAX has been talking to Amazon and Netflix and different people to try and get theatrical releases for those straight to streaming films, but.
Yeah, they're an interesting business.
I know. I need to see Ridiculous 6 in IMAX.
Also, Henry Cavill got fired. Henry Cavill got fired. That's all the news. There we go.
Did he get fired?
Well, yeah, that's news.
Did Ben Affleck get fired?
Well, no,
he's in rehab.
No, he disintegrated again. So
Oh snap!
Yeah, it's a thing he does. He's like a phoenix. Nice. Every few years he disintegrates, and then he has to slowly rebuild his career and marry a different Jennifer.
Look at my fucking feathers.
Every time he kills his career, it's from playing a superhero.
God. Yeah. He plays a superhero, gets divorced, and yeah.
But he's not a bad Batman, though.
No,
it's his movies are.
He wasn't a bad
he's
Daredevil.
He's the best part. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, it is interesting. Did you guys see? Every time I see a trailer for the Aquaman, I'm still not sold on it.
Yeah.
It was before. What the fuck did I see this week? Predator. It was before the one I saw last week too.
Yeah.
DC is trying really hard right now to go. Hey, we're fun.
Ryan, we're trying fun. Really hard for a long time.
Redheads, gotta love them. Woo! And then he does woo again. I don't know why.
Yeah,
there's so much Amber Heard in that trailer.
There is. I don't mind her.
It's like it's an Amber Heard movie.
I want to watch it because Patrick Wilson's in it, and I like Patrick Wilson.
I mean, obviously we're going to see it, but
yeah,
I like James Wan too. He's
no,
made
James
some
Wan's
really good
awesome.
movies.
Yeah.
I hope he makes Conjuring 3.
I'm sure he will.
Aquaman 2.
I just want to see First Man.
Yeah, not that long to wait. I can't believe you want to see it. They don't show them planting the American flag.
I know, they don't show planting a piece of cloth.
Wait. Is that a problem?
It
I have
is.
trouble imagining it, so I need to see it.
Are
Oh,
people
yeah.
Despite the fact
mad
that there are
about this?
apparently...
Who's it? Marco? Is it Marco Rubio or Ted Cruz? Like went on this.
Rubio.
Rubio went on a
Their whole
tirade.
club.
Yeah, about,
about the what? The fact that there's not a scene in the movie where they plant the American flag.
Yep. And Ryan Gosling, who by the way is Canadian,
Because if you don't show it, then it doesn't happen.
yeah.
But there's also many
Wait.
shots of the flag according to everyone who's seen it.
And so Ryan Gosling said, he's like, yeah, I mean, we didn't put in there, but, he said, but it's also like an achievement for mankind, so we don't.
Yeah, it's
have-
literally what he said, and it
Yep.
you
doesn't matter.
Yep.
Like
See, now you know what the
this
controversy behind that
this
movie
isn't
is.
like Superman Returns where like they said 2/3 of it's a bird, it's a plane, like. Or no, what was the truth? Does he still stand for truth, justice, and all that stuff? This isn't a thing where they deliberately cut America out because oops, there's an Iraq war. Like, no, this is what the fuck is wrong with people?
I don't
God
know.
damn it!
I don't even know what that means. I'm like, do they have to show
What
that?
do you,
I don't understand.
No, yeah, like
I'm fairly sure
they
that
didn't show Obama's birth certificate in this movie about the Apollo missions. So clearly, this is some kind of propaganda.
No, every time I see that trailer, I get really excited.
Yeah, it's really good. It looks like
Yeah.
a well-made film.
It does.
Steve said it was like one of his 3 favorite movies coming out of Telluride.
Nice.
yeah, I'm excited for it. I want to see it in IMAX. That's really wanting me to get off my butt for IMAX. I normally don't do it.
Was it shot in IMAX?
I think you're supposed to sit down in an IMAX, so don't get off your butt.
I don't know if it was shot in IMAX. Sounds like Chazelle might go for that kind of thing, but
We'll find out.
But a big screen might be cool because
I'm,
space.
I'm wondering though, does he dance on the moon
No.
in the final moments? I would love that.
No, okay.
But
If
the
the movie ended and like they were on the moon, and then like the camera turned around and you saw the edge of the set, and then they just walked back and started taking their clothes off and hanging them up in a room, and it was like,
and you have Stanley Kubrick there. And,
it basically was the end of Blazing
I'm
Saddles.
a genius.
Like there were some guys on horses, rode through the moon, and that they were just revealed like, oh, the whole thing was fake. Then that would be controversial.
Where he plants the Russian flag on the moon?
Yeah, which is basically
Actually, they
the
probably love
Oliver.
that.
Is his last line ready to comply?
No, that would be the Oliver Stone film. So.
yeah, Oliver Stone shit.
He has not been.
I like
good.
Born on the 4th of July.
He hasn't been good in a while.
Yeah. Anyway, that's news.
This is what's coming out on Blu-ray and your local DVDs.
DVD releases and Blu-rays.
Did I tell you I saw people buying DVDs? It blows my mind.
I buy DVDs for my mother-in-law, and the reason is she carries a little like portable DVD player around with her, so like all over the house as she's doing
There you go.
stuff, or like she'll lay in bed and watch them. And I thought like for Christmas last year, I was like, maybe I'll buy her like a little Blu-ray player, and then that way she can get Blu-rays. And then I looked. They don't fucking make portable Blu-ray players because the screen is this big. What the fuck
And then
are you doing?
it could be like my mother-in-law where they don't appreciate it being in high definition.
Oh, yeah, they
my
would
mother-in-law has one,
sure,
but
Right.
she doesn't care.
yeah. Only reason my parents do it is like the first time that I got some for Christmas. It was when the original Star Trek came out. So I got the Blu-ray of Star Trek, and my mom got the DVD. And so for Christmas, we could swap them
Yeah.
right next to each other, and they could see, and they were like, "Holy shit,
Oh yeah.
that looks a lot better."
Look,
Like,
you can see
yeah.
the texture on their
Right.
clothes.
So speaking of higher def things, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom is out on 4K this week. There's also a couple different steelbook versions,
Cool.
which look pretty cool.
Taken.
No, the
with
steelbook at
dinosaurs.
Best Buy is awesome. It's like just a raptor on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's one for just the movie itself, and then they're doing another like collection set.
Oh.
So
I didn't like the collection steelbook because it, like, I don't know. I like it with T-Rex on it.
they bundled the new one in with it. I just want like the original one on the steelbook.
I Oh, you can get it on 4K now, I think, the original.
Not in Steelbook.
Not in
though.
Steelbook.
No, it's Steelbook.
Yeah.
Oh.
You have to buy the set. Yeah.
You only like the first one? You couldn't even watch the other ones?
Well, I mean, as far as rebuying this movie for like the 5th time, like
Gotcha.
the first one's the only one I care about.
The 4K is not that
Steelbook.
huge of an upgrade either.
Yeah.
If you bought it, like, I think it was only like $32 on Amazon when it came out. Like the set. I
think it's still around that price at like a Best Buy.
Don't remember.
I like the third one because it has a talking dinosaur in it. Alan.
Oh, that's right. And it's hallucination. I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's not real talking, but I think it's hilarious.
Speaking of weird shit, the X-Files season 11 is out on Blu-ray this week.
Cool.
Which is the one from
You know,
last year.
you know what the
right?
best episode of X-Files is when they're on The Simpsons. I love when
and he's
Agent
on the
Mulder
trim.
shows his badge and it's a picture of him in a bikini, like laying down. It's one of my favorite sight gags ever.
Like when Homer's on the treadmill and they're just like he just keeps going and going, right? Yeah, it's like a lava lamp. I bring you love. It's bringing us love. Kill it.
Let me just make
Simpsons
sure.
are great.
Okay. From Criterion this week is My Man Godfrey.
That is awesome because that film's been stuck in the public domain garbage heap for a while.
Oh, really? It's from 1936.
Yeah, in terms of just like no one's tried to restore it or fix it up and stuff. And
sure.
it's a good movie with William Powell from the Thin Man series and Philo Vance. It's a solid flick. I recommend you guys pick it up if you're Criterion fans. Hey.
Season 3 of Supergirl is out on Blu-ray.
I haven't seen season 1.
Kevin Smith's Supergirl.
All right, and then getting into the collectible stuff. Shout Factory, speaking of Oliver Stone, is putting out a thing of Platoon in the Steelbook.
Yeah, because it's owned by MGM and they sub-license from them all the time.
So they were just
I
like,
don't
meh.
own Platoon yet, so that might be my chance to pick it up. It's a good movie.
No, he's not. I guess maybe, I think JFK ruined it, Oliver Stone, for me.
Yeah.
Because Born on 4th of July is really good, I think, because of Tom Cruise's performance.
Mm-hmm.
But then JFK is so much garbage.
Yeah,
that
it's
I
when he
can't
starts
handle it.
inserting his his theories into everything.
Yeah.
Did you see Nixon though? The one he did with Anthony Hopkins as Nixon?
No.
It's really good. It's not. It doesn't like delve into.
Honestly, I have a hard
conspiracy
time when I
nonsense.
see Oliver Stone directed by. I kind of have this.
Oh, yeah, my eyes are back
aversion
into my
to
head.
it.
Then you
Yeah.
may not like the Nixon one though, not because of it content in it, but it is like a 3-hour long biopic.
Hey, if they're good movies, I don't care how long they are.
Yeah.
Hopkins is a great Nixon.
Mary Poppins is
surprisingly.
almost 3 hours long.
Really.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Man. Huh.
So you didn't even know because it's so great. It goes by so fast.
Yeah. From Arrow this week is Horrors of Malformed Men, which has a beautiful painted cover. Holy shit. I don't even know what this movie is, but there's like a weird wraith thing coming out of the ocean and a dude standing there in a robe.
It sounds Italian.
Yep. Actually, I think it's like Japanese. But
Ooh. Nifty.
from, who is this? Wellgo USA is Phantasm 3, Lord of the Dead, and Phantasm 4.
Oblivion. Is it Oblivion?
Yeah.
Oblivion. The one where he holds a ball.
I've only seen the first Phantasm.
Yeah. Phantasm 2 is pretty good.
That's what I've heard.
First one is.
But this is Phantasm 3 and Phantasm 4.
Yeah. So originally, Well Go USA put out number 5. And then they put them all in a set together, and now they're doing them individually, so you can see the ones you don't care about.
Scream put out Phantasm 2 at one point,
Yeah.
right?
They don't have it anymore.
But aren't they trying to get, like, who's putting out the first Phantasm again?
It's Well Go USA. I
still
have that
Wellgo?
one, yeah.
I thought another company was doing it. Anyway.
And then Scream for Help!
I've heard this is really good. I've never seen it, though.
First he tried to kill Mom. Now he's after me. But no one believes me.
Did you,
Sort of the
terrifying.
tagline. There's two taglines. The other one is, and pray there's someone out there listening. Both of these terrible.
have you heard about this from the recent shockwaves on Scream Factory?
No.
Their upcoming releases. This is a Charles Bronson serial killer movie, and it sounds awesome.
Huh.
Is that the Scream Factory one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That sounds fucking awesome.
Also from Scream Factory this week is The Evil.
Like the spirits of the devil.
Witness its awakening. And I think it's like supposed to be I don't know what this is because
That's
there's like a
tomb being-
ladder.
it's a tomb being
No,
opened.
it's not a tomb. There's a ladder that goes down into it, and it's like square. It's not long rectangular like a body. Like, what are these things? I think it's the hatch from Lost. That's what it is. It's the hatch from Lost, and the evil comes out of it.
Little did you know that Lost was all one big sequel to the evil.
You should search Evangeline Lilly where she talks about the ending to Lost. It's really
It
good.
was really good. Yeah.
you'll see
I
it.
saw.
It's
Oh, of course.
great.
Yeah. No, that was really great.
She's so nice. Like I'd love to meet that woman.
Also, really an intelligent response to all the people who don't understand
Yep.
that show.
Yep, I agree.
I also missed Keanu Reeves' Siberia, which is some little direct-to-DVD.
I bet he goes to Siberia.
Whoa.
Yeah, I bet
It's cold here.
Maybe he's already there.
I bet it's,
Shit!
I bet some.
What am I
some
doing
not
in
great things
Siberia?
happen.
What?
Did you get was the Community complete series last week, or because it's on this week for
It's
me?
this week, I
Is it?
think. Yeah.
No, it's not.
Pop,
on,
pop.
God, man. Yeah, it's not on Blu-ray.com's list.
Troy and Abed in Blu-ray.
Yeah, I definitely.
That'd be
want
sweet
that.
if they opened it with Troy and Abed in high def.
Oh, that would be fun.
I haven't seen
yeah.
that show.
If
in a
I knew
while.
that was
I
coming,
need
then
to
I'd
just
buy
order
this.
that.
I do love me some Jeff Winger. Man. Yeah. They ported all over all the extras too. I was worried about that for a long time.
Good.
Because they didn't.
'Cause, yeah, like
they didn't release them at all.
The blooper reels and all that stuff
Yeah.
were so good, man.
That show's great.
Yep. Anyway, that's Blu-rays.
We also watch movies throughout the week in a segment I call "Movies That Are Watched Throughout the Week" by the Real Nerds.
So, yeah, this is the stuff we've been watching.
James, what have you been watching?
Not a lot of different like stuff to report on, but I finished Jack Ryan this week.
Is it good?
The Amazon show. Yeah, I totally recommend it. I think the first couple episodes, like, they're setting a lot of stuff up, and he's very, an analyst. So like at the beginning, there's a lot of like talk about
Analyzing.
I'm watching all these like Swift transactions around the world, and you're like, dude, I want you to shoot people. But they'll get there. Yeah, I think the story they tell is really pretty good and decent. And I think John Krasinski does a great job.
You call him Johnny?
He tends to do a lot of just like staring with like no emotion on his face.
Jack
And he's
Ryan,
pretty good at
totally.
it.
He's kind of doing it on the poster.
Yeah, actually,
right
yeah. Basically, you could just cut his head off of this poster and just paste it onto every scene, and that's what he looks like.
It seems unfair to him.
No, but he's doing a great job because sometimes he's smoldering, and
Okay.
sometimes he's wounded, and sometimes he's thinking.
Does he sometimes look into the camera and smirk?
No, but there were some times when
No.
you want him to.
So does he kill people in it?
Yes.
Okay, internet, listen. So when he kills somebody, cut to Jim Halpert looking at the camera going... like,
Actually, yeah. There's a couple of good times where he like. There's a couple good scenes in that
Edited
show where
together
they could.
fighting Golden Face.
That'd
Just
be
want
really
a shot
good.
of him shooting someone in the face,
Then
and
I'm
then
gonna
it
dig
cuts
up your
to a
wife.
reaction of Dwight across the room.
most expensive shot in the movie.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's really good. I mean, if you're an Amazon Prime member, like you
Yeah, mine's
should
in the
just
queue
watch
right
it.
now.
Yeah, I mean, and it's only 8 episodes. It's
Oh.
easy to get through.
Nice.
Half hour, an hour.
Hour. And usually a real hour, like HBO style. They're like 50 minutes, 50,
No
55
commercials.
minutes sometimes. Yeah.
Not that fake hour that the networks invented.
Well, not 42 minutes, right? Sometimes they're a little shorter, but for the most part, they're a real 50-minute episode. Yeah, I think the performances are all good. The guy who plays Greer, what's his first name? Anyway, the dude, like anyway, you know the character if you've seen like Clear and Present Danger or Hunt for Red October.
Sweet.
He's rough early on, like first episode or two. I was kind of like, but then that gets better too. So if you start watching it and it rubs you a little bit the wrong way, like just push through, and when it really gets rolling and there's some action going on, you'll probably be happier. So yeah, I would totally recommend it.
Sweet.
Also watched through almost all of The Staircase, which is on Netflix.
Yeah.
Which is one of the
Really
many
interesting.
popular true crime things over the last few years.
You know what's funny? Where I first heard about that was on Forensic Files.
Oh yeah.
When I worked overnights, I used to just download the shit out of Forensic Files
Oh.
because it was just enough to keep me interested.
Yeah.
So I would just plug in my iPad and just drive around and listen to it. So it was
Yeah.
it's like a true crime podcast.
Yeah.
And that's where I first heard about it.
Yeah. So it tells the story of a guy who in 2001 was convicted. In 2001, his wife died and maybe was murdered. He claimed that she fell backwards down the stairs, hit her head, and bled pretty much to death while he was outside by the pool. And then the cops decided there was too much blood, and so he clearly murdered her. It's a fascinating documentary series. You definitely like it. It's very similar to like a Making a Murderer or even Serial, where you get through it and you're kind of like, at some point, it's not even about whether or not he did it. It's more about whether or not he should get convicted.
Mm-hmm.
Just watching how stupid some of the things that happened were.
Yeah, it's really bizarre because I don't think it's as well made as Making a Murderer.
No, I would agree. It drags.
It drags.
a
I think
lot
it's
more.
too long,
Yeah.
but because I think it's like 13 episodes. It's pretty long because they
Yeah.
do like 3 follow up.
Yes. So that's the
Yeah.
thing. It's like it was 10 episodes and then they've gone back to it.
I don't know. It's. I feel the same way after I watched it with Making a Murderer. Actually, Making a Murderer, I was more mad at the bungling of law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you get to a point where you can see that he did it, and there's also enough where maybe he didn't.
Right.
But it's too.
You have plenty of probable, or you have plenty of reasonable doubt.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. And so that's
just-
where it just gets. It almost gets frustrating.
Yeah, because
You know?
I mean, she died horribly.
Yeah.
So it's
The biggest problem, and not that I want to dig into it too much, but just because of this, my problem is when you get to there's no murder weapon and there's, in my opinion, not really a motive. I just don't like. I don't know how you convict anyone. Like,
Yeah.
if you can't really establish a motive that makes sense, I just don't know how.
Yep.
Other than they're a crazy serial killer, but that doesn't make sense either.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's one where there's some really bizarre stuff in the story
Yeah.
that makes you understand why somebody would believe it. Because
and he's
it's just-
weird too.
He is weird, but then the more I feel like the more you spend time with him, the more I'm like, oh, I think you might just be weird.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what I mean too.
Not crazy. I think you might just be weird,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
Yeah,
like,
I don't
just-
know. It's fascinating.
Yeah, I don't know that if you're in that place where you are enjoying watching a lot of true crime, if you're somebody who watches a lot of or listens to a lot of My Favorite Murder, for example, which I do, then yeah, you should check this out just because it's a decent one and an interesting story. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's talk about this. So, I started listening through all of the Harry Potter books on audiobook.
Mm-hmm.
And as like every other book or so, I'll pause and listen to something else and then go back. And then after I finish them, I've been watching back through the movies. And what I will say is this. I'm actually having some of the books, meh, or some parts of them, like Goblet of Fire, I just think is not very good. Like there are a lot of parts of that book that just were not great. But for the most part, I'm like, okay, these are really fun. And now then when I go back to the movies, I realize why the movies are so bad, but the movies are still fucking really bad. Like, and they keep getting worse. And part of it is I've watched through Goblet of Fire, which is all the ones I originally saw. And so I do feel like the first one's good, like as a good, like entry into the world, like, it's wondrous and you're meeting all this new stuff. And then as you go, like, especially by the time you get to Goblet of Fire, then they start changing things, and some of those things don't make any sense, and so just random shit starts happening, and that's when, like, now I see it, I think, from a different point of view, where I know what's supposed to have happened, and I know the backstory on some things, and I'm like, oh, if I'd known this in the movie, I probably wouldn't have been so frustrated by, like, why this randomness has occurred. But the exciting part is what's coming up, which is, when we reviewed Deathly Hallows Part 2, which I think we did, or we just saw it together. Okay. When we reviewed Deathly Hallows Part 2, I had not seen Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, or Deathly Hallows Part 3. So now we're getting to a point where the next 3 books and movies, so I finished Order of the Phoenix, which is maybe my favorite one so far.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That one, I'm like, there's some cartoonish, silly stuff, but, whatever, it's for kids. Like, the villain in that book is silly, but whatever. But that one, like...
She's horrible. I hate her.
Right. So now, as I go into the movies, I will have not seen the movie before, and then this is going to be a bit more fascinating.
What year
so,
did that come out?
2012?
2012?
Oh, Deathly Hallows? 2011.
It must have been
2011.
Because Part 1 came out in 2010 in November.
I know we saw it together. We may not have actually reviewed it, but it was definitely on our film Splosion. Because it was Ryan's number 1 of that year. We must have reviewed it though, because it would have been later in the summer, and we started the show.
I think I don't
Novembers.
remember. Well, I don't because it came out in 2011, summer 2011.
We have
the
Nerdly
I know
Hollows?
that's what he's looking at.
It
Yeah, the
came out- and it
Nerdly
came-
Hollows must be it.
and it came out after First Class, so you guys did do an episode on
Okay, yeah, so it's episode 7. Okay, yeah, so
it. Book 7, episode 7.
movie 8.
Oh, that's right.
Get
Never mind.
fucked.
Yeah, all 3 of us were on it.
Yeah.
Get
Well, yeah, that was none of us had anything else going on back then. So anyway, it's interesting.
times.
I will check in probably a few weeks. I may not say anything else about this until I'm done with it.
When I typed it into Google, it's showing at the Highlands Ranch 24 on the 23rd of September.
Harry
They
Potter
did a
and the
re-release, just
Goblet
like the
of Fire?
Marvel stuff did.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I don't. Not all the movies are great, but I enjoy watching them.
I think the Deathly Hallows 2 is great.
I'm
and
but,
the first part is too.
But if we're talking about like all 8, like not everyone's like supremely
I-
solid. That third one's still amazing. I fucking love it, and I think the 6th one is beautifully shot. Even though
They're good movies.
My problem with Half-Blood Prince is that it screws up its title by not like elaborating on the Half-Blood Prince too much, which is big in the book.
Yeah.
I get why you're doing it.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen it.
No, I really like him. It's me and James don't get in fights very often on the podcast, but that's one of them. And the Hunger Games.
Yeah, the Hunger Games movies are terrible.
So
Catnip Evergreen.
that was the last one.
Deathly Hallows Part 2. Yeah.
Was our 7th episode. So
Hmm?
there was no. I thought we reviewed more Harry Potter in our time doing this, but
No, we did a
clearly-
lot of Twilight, and we did a lot of
Fucking
Hunger
Twilight.
Games.
And Hobbits.
That was probably the longest week of my life.
and Transformers.
And I'm
And
putting
Transformers,
I'm putting that up with like grandparents and pets dying. And
We've done a lot of. Wait. Is it grandparents dying or just grandparents in general?
just
Like weeks with grandparents.
Well, so okay, so let me scale it back. So my grandfather died, and I'm sad for like 4 or 5 days, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is horrible. But then that week where I watched every single Twilight leading up to whatever one we saw in the theaters,
The 4th one.
I remember sitting there and having the biggest headache,
fifth one.
and my eyes hurt
Yeah.
because I'm
Because you're rolling them. Because you're rolling them too much.
I'm absorbing all of this. That's true. I am absorbing all of this crap, and I'm trying to regurgitate it. And when I say it out loud, it sounds so dumb.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that watching Twilight makes it really easy to regurgitate things.
Yes. And I'll be honest. When the last one happened, everyone was dying. Like, okay, this is what I want to see.
Oh, yeah.
This is what I want to see.
Oh, it was
and then
great.
they undo it.
Yeah, I know. It's so good.
I've definitely recommended it before, but you need to like maybe at least for the final one revisit it with the Riff Tracks commentary, because when that moment comes up and then it turns out it's just a dream, you hear Bill Corbett or Kevin Murphy, one of the two, just yell out, "What the fuck!"
Yeah,
It's so ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. It's not like we're 50 Shades. I can watch there's boobs in it.
Yeah, like 50 Shades you watch and you're like, this is so stupid that you're laughing every few
Yeah.
minutes, and it's ridiculous.
I find them both egregiously
Well,
dumb. And
No,
dangerous.
I mean they're both
50.
they're both garbage
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
films.
yeah.
But in this 50, I guess Twilight, dude, they're garbage books.
Yeah.
So
They're garbage books about like, you got to let a man dominate your life. I'm just like, nah, I'm good, man. I don't
50
need to
Shades
watch
Freed is disappointingly not bad enough.
because there's no freaking helicopter crash
Yeah,
where he
like
shows
the
up with
funniest-
dirt on his face.
The funniest part and the best ongoing joke is, why didn't you change your email? It's been 25 minutes. Like, that's like the only part of that movie that's like so bad it's funny, and then the rest of it you're like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, Anyways, so that's what I've been watching.
Zach?
Actually not a lot because we recorded literally on like Monday, like recently, so like it was pretty quick. So I only watched a couple things. I'm continuing my Universal Monster dissection. I'm going.
I know you must love to have images burned into your TV. Every time I'm down here, you have something stuck on there.
Well, yeah, because I was gonna pop that in before you guys came in and watch Werewolf of London, but we'll have to wait for next week. But I did watch Bride of Frankenstein again as part of the.
Bride of Frankenstein's brilliant
because I'm going in order chronologically. Yeah, I love The Invisible Man as like a personal favorite, but that is undeniably the best Universal monster movie ever made.
Yeah, Universal Invisible Man is my favorite one, just because I love.
Because he's just a straight up murderer.
Yeah, and he's a bad guy.
Yeah, and Claude Rains is amazing. But Bride of Frankenstein, like, it's best production design, easily the best script of that run of monster movies. Karloff's incredible in it. The thing that I always like find a different angle each time I watch those films. And with this one, I was like really watching like the side characters, and Una O'Connor, who's in this film and in Invisible Man, as like a really over-the-top performance. She's astounding in the film. She's truly hysterical. And Ernest Thesiger, who plays Dr. Pretorius in Bride of Frankenstein, I think is one of the finest cinematic villains in any genre, because he's so immensely watchable. It's insane. And I also think the prologue at the beginning of Bride of Frankenstein is one of the most genius ways to enter into that that kind of film, where it's just like, oh, like we got Lord Byron over here, and we got Percy Shelley, and we got Mary Shelley, and she wrote a scary story, but that's not all of it. And it's just wonderful. But next is Werewolf of London and Son of Frankenstein. I'm basically going in order that they were released. So, I saw a movie about a rivalry.
Oh, yeah.
Called Rush.
Oh, it's so good.
Finally. Yeah, I don't know why I put this off for so long. I think it was a Ron Howard movie I wasn't really thinking of. Now I think about it, nothing but Rush. This movie was fucking awesome. If anybody out there doesn't know what Rush is about, it's about
a rivalry.
It's about a rivalry between two Formula One racers specifically. But so like the movies, it's incredibly like just like efficient, well executed drama. Like it doesn't have to go too dark or deep. Like it goes in the right level of water that it needs to go in terms of emotion. This is the best Chris Hemsworth performance I've ever seen. I mean, outside of Thor, you can't like count Thor necessarily. But like in terms of like him giving a outside MCU performance, Daniel Bruhl's incredible in the film. Like I knew nothing about the story going in, so when he gets in that crash and is going through his recovery with his face and the burns, I'm like, when they shove that thing down his fucking throat. And he's just like, do it again. I was like, holy shit, because he's angry because Chris Hemsworth's winning all his races, and he should be on there winning his races with fucking Ferrari.
So I got this when Tradesmart was going out of business, and it's still in the wrapper, just sitting there.
I got this for $5.99 in the bin.
I forget what I got.
I paid full price because I know what this movie's fucking worth.
I forgot what I got for it. It was used at 75% off, so probably $9. So I probably got it for like $2.50. I don't remember.
But
I mean, it's about a rivalry.
I don't know if you know, but they say that in the movie too a couple of times. They remind you this is about a rivalry. But honestly, like this is probably among like my Ron Howard film selections, like in terms of my favorites of his, are really weird. Like I really love Frost Nixon. I think it's an amazing film, even though it's a talking head piece. And then I think Da Vinci Code is really great in spite of what other people think.
Great?
But like again,
it's fun.
It's
good.
It's super fun. Like I've already told you, I love the Robert Langdon movies. Even though Inferno's weird. But this might be one of the like among the best things he's ever directed. I would probably put it A Beautiful Mind, this, and Frost Nixon if I'm going for just his filmography. Because Rush like feels different. Like it's the most visually distinct film I've seen him make. Part of it made me realize, like, as about 30 minutes in, I was like, oh yeah, Ron Howard made a lot of car movies for Roger Corman. So this isn't necessarily him like homaging that period, but you can tell like he's having fun revisiting an era that he grew up in and like was gaining.
Oh, it's a
like,
straight sequel to
prominence
Grand
in.
Theft Auto. Yeah.
Yeah, no, shut up. But no, it's just like it's interesting to see like, and he's really good at shooting car scenes. Like, I mean, between that and Solo this year, I'm like, wow, he is really good at a car chase. Like, maybe that's his trademark. I don't know. Like, it's hard to place, but I honestly did come to the conclusion by the end of it. I'm like, Ron Howard might be the most solid biopic director of this generation because like he's done a lot of them, and each one of them is at least of good quality, if not excellent quality. Like Cinderella Man, not the best movie in the world, but still a solid watch. Beautiful Mind, an excellent film. I mean, Rush, another great example. Like Frost Nixon, not necessarily a biopic so much as a.
Oh, but I'd say it's close. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I think he's really good at True Life in a way that, or in terms of like making it accessible for audiences. So like maybe that's his like signature style and whatnot. And Apollo 13.
Yeah.
Brr. So, but yeah, Rush. If you haven't seen this amazing flick, check it out. It's do what James did, pay full price. Like I actually probably should send a check to Imagine Entertainment for $13 or something.
Probably they lost money on it.
That's yeah. I mean, so it's taken me 2 years to get one of you to watch
They
it.
primarily
So,
they were primarily selling that in Europe though. Like looking in the background information on it on Wikipedia and stuff. Like this was primarily like a big British release for them.
well, yeah,
like
because Europeans
Formula
understand
One.
F1.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Whereas we don't, and I get it. And then last two things I watched was I watched a PBS documentary on Nixon.
No.
Spoiler alert: he resigned. And then I just started watching one on Dwight D. Eisenhower, which, and I was telling James this before we started. When I read about World War II, I read about like individual battles and kind of like the overall scope, but I never really have gotten into the generals, like the specific generals, except for maybe Montgomery, and that's only because like his story's pretty fascinating in terms of like how he gets shafted around. But Eisenhower's one's interesting. I'm halfway through it right now, so he hasn't won the war yet. I'm hoping he does. What is interesting though is like, so they said that when he arrived in France after D-Day, he didn't stay. He didn't go there to stay in Paris. He went to Versailles, and he said he couldn't stay in Paris because there was too much temptation to go night clubbing. And I was just like, oh, I just imagine like 60-year-old Dwight D. Eisenhower in France just fucking like shots. I invaded the beach. Like I just like celebrating his tits off. You know, it would have been.
Or it's like, or I can stay in Versailles, like the most extravagant home ever.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because he also, you know, we weren't even done yet at that point.
He goes up to the Russian gangster room and he pulls back the curtain and he's like, "Bitches come," and then bitches come in.
I've,
That's a reference to Triple X. I don't just use the phrase "bitches come" a lot.
When I went to Versailles, my favorite story ever is I was with my friend Brandon, and when we were at Versailles, there's a lot of Japanese tourists, and they would just push you out of the way to take pictures of whatever they're taking pictures of at Versailles. Beautiful place, gardens, everything. So they kept on doing that to me and Brandon. Then Brandon started following around and taking pictures of them, and they were trying to run. They're like running from him in this the castle of Versailles, and it was pretty funny.
Oh my god!
Like, why is he taking pictures of me? Because Brandon had enough of them just pushing him out of the way to take pictures of a chair.
But anyway, yeah. So far, Eisenhower's life pretty interesting.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see what he does next. Like, I
Freedom.
don't know. Maybe he'll become president. You never know.
Yeah. I recommend. I forget. I have a book on him. I'd recommend it to you when I remember the title. It might just be Eisenhower. Can't remember.
I think that if I'm gonna read
Dwight, maybe
Dwight.
Ike. But if I if I see another documentary though on a general, I think I might want it to be Marshall.
Yeah.
I know a lot about Patton, mainly because there's a great movie where he's standing in front of a flag. But Marshall's the one where I think because it's interesting, if he did not go back to Washington at Roosevelt's request, he would have been leading D-Day. And there was talk that he should have, but Roosevelt really wanted Marshall at his side in Washington to stead off his nerves. So, yeah.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah, anyway, that's what I've been watching.
Brad?
You know, just thinking if the Da Vinci Code follows like most modern franchise like arcs, the fourth one will be a reboot, so Tom Hanks will be out, but it'll just be called Robert Langdon.
Yeah.
Or
starring Colin Hanks.
Yes,
or
please.
just Da Vinci Code. They just take the off.
Yeah.
Or The Code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
Da Vinci.
Yeah, there you go. Yes.
They're based on
No. Oh, you just call it Da Code.
With 50 Cent.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Tyler Perry's
Black
Da
Code.
Code.
You replace the whole cast with black people. You call it Da Code. This is terrible.
Copyright Nerds podcast.
Call us, Curtis Jackson.
Yeah.
James, you're wrong. It's Tyler Perry's Da Code.
Right.
No, they still got to do the Lost Symbol from that series of books, which is one I really want them to do. Inferno's weird as a story to begin with, so.
So I rewatched Waiting. That was a lot of fun. Haven't seen that in a while.
Oh, I haven't seen one in a while.
Great. Like it encapsulates. I'm sure you know.
Oh yeah.
The food service industry experience, like every common thing you can think of that you've ever experienced there, they put in that movie. And it's great.
That's Ryan Reynolds of Van Wilder years.
Then I rewatched Dodgeball.
Dane Cook.
Yes.
Dane Cook is in that movie.
Yeah.
I fucking love Dodgeball.
Is it necessary for me to drink my own urine? No, but it's sterile, and I love the taste.
But the interesting thing is I listened to the commentary.
Mm-hmm.
Have you listened to the commentary on Dodgeball before?
No.
It's right off the bat. It's Ben Stiller and Vince Vaughn arguing with the director, and then about half an hour into the movie, the fight breaks out, and the director leaves, and then Ben Stiller and Vince Vaughn get bored, and they leave, and then the recording guys, the director comes back, and they like try to figure out like what they're gonna do to finish the rest of the commentary. So then they just play the commentary to There's Something About Mary. And it sort of lines up to what's going on. So they're referencing different people except for Ben Stiller. But a lot of it does match what's...
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's probably just a big setup then.
I mean,
I'm sure.
it has to be, it has to be fake, but it goes on for so long and there's no... like. It's
What do they argue about?
So Ben Stiller's late, so it's the director and Vince Vaughn's convincing him, like, he was late on set, you shouldn't tolerate this stuff. And so Ben Stiller walks into the room, happy-go-lucky, and doesn't realize that they've been talking shit about him. So the director's in a bad mood, and then, while they're sitting there trying to talk about the movie, and Vince Vaughn's saying, like, hey, we should probably be talking about the movie, the director and Ben Stiller just kind of, like, take little snipes at each other back and forth, and they just get worse and worse and worse.
Awesome.
Until the director throws his hands up in there and leaves, and it goes on for like 30 minutes, and it doesn't seem like anyone's trying to think up stuff on the fly. It seems, but also doesn't seem rehearsed either.
Gotcha.
He's not worked with Ben Stiller since then.
Yeah.
His most recent film, Skyscraper.
Yep. So yeah, that was interesting. I never listened to that before.
But it has to, because there's no way they would just leave that on the disc.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's definitely still fake. Yeah.
But yeah, after everyone leaves, there's
That's
you
funny.
hear in the background this little conversation between him, and also like Vince Vaughn and Ben Stiller. After the director leaves, they start picking on the recording guys. Like they turn into total divas and bring me my chips or whatever. Or, So after they leave the recording, in the background they're talking about, what are we gonna do? There's like an hour and a half left.
I read it.
I got
in a
some,
book.
I got some DVDs in my car. You just play one of those.
Oh, hi, Kate. I didn't expect you here. You invited me. I love when Ben Stiller's a douchebag because he plays like his. I think of Dodgeball as a sequel to Heavyweights because it's like he's the same character in Heavyweights, and then in Dodgeball it's just him later in life.
That's really good. I like that.
Fucking Chuck Norris.
I also forgot about Steve the Pirate. Which is
Oh
on
yeah,
Two Dicks.
Just a weird like.
Well, who's gonna help me enjoy all this treasure? After he stops being a pirate.
Jason Bateman's great in that.
That
movie's awesome.
That writer director also is in Easy A. He plays Quiznos guy. It's the first thing on his IMDb under known for Quiznos guy in Easy
And
A.
then director of Skyscraper.
And then the director of Skyscraper and Dodgeball.
Yeah, maybe they did have a falling out.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, he did a 2017 short, like played Dodgeball with. Ben
Oh yeah,
Stiller,
I
so.
saw that. Yeah.
So maybe not. Maybe this is all a hoax.
I don't know how these people work.
Yep.
This is not reality.
I don't know how people work.
At the drive-in, I got to watch Crazy Rich Asians.
How was that?
Are they crazy or crazy rich? I don't know. I also fell asleep in the middle, and that's because I was bored. So
Pretty good. Your seal of approval?
yeah, I don't know. It's I just couldn't get into it. I don't know. It wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
I think you had to be looking for something, which is what I was looking for in it. So
Yeah.
I found it, and I'm happy with it.
Yeah, my folks saw it. They said it was kind of empty. Yeah.
So they weren't rich.
Yeah, like that lifestyle doesn't impress me. And then
Crazy poor Asians.
It boils down to the fiance is just trying to impress the guy's mom, and she's making it hard on her. So, but she does have a cool like comeuppance at the end, which I was like on board for.
Fucking punches her.
Yeah, shoots her in the face.
Yeah.
It's intense.
Yeah.
But there's no blood, so they got the PG-13.
Sure.
No, they're she's like playing mahjong with her mom, and she's declined the. Should I say this?
Probably not.
Yeah, no.
I'm glad you asked the question.
It's not. It's. I wouldn't call it empty. Like, I mean, it definitely follows the tropes of a romantic comedy. I think what's interesting is like it has a personality about it that has been absent from most studio rom-coms. Like John Chu puts like a lot of personality into that flick that I don't think otherwise would have been there. But yeah, I liked
lavish for sure. And then I also watched The Nun. Or I think the first 20 minutes before I again fell asleep.
Because it
even
was
more
so
bored.
scary.
No, it's not.
It takes a while for that movie to get going.
Yeah.
but once it does, it
It's not bad.
goes all over the place.
Yeah. It's almost too fantastical for the universe it's in.
Yeah, I don't know because I haven't seen any of the Conjuring universe stuff.
No, that's actually
I don't know.
that's a very accurate statement because like it's almost like the biggest of them all, and yet
Yeah.
it shouldn't be.
It's all Insidious, Conjuring.
No,
Annabelle is
it's
all the
it's
same.
Conjuring and Annabelle.
Oh, okay.
So like in Annabelle, the doll is just possessed by a demon, so the demon tries to get out and do things. In this, it's
It's like a Dark Lord or something.
yeah. So like Valak is, Valak is also the demon in Conjuring 1 and 2, but they try to give him or her or whatever you want to say a backstory, and
that's Pennywise.
and they give. I mean, the blood of Christ is in this, and so it veers really hard into supernatural
Yeah,
stuff.
James, in order to defeat evil, you have to have the actual God-honest blood of Jesus H. Christ.
Yeah, and I don't know
which
why
has
it's
been put
not,
in a vial by the Vatican.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not dry. but
Yeah, no, see, you're wrong because I saw it in the movie called The Nun.
in
And
this,
I have one of Paul's finger bones. I'll sell it to you for $500.
How did he lose his eye? Because I woke up after that.
the priest.
Yeah.
How did he lose his eyeball?
He had a bandage over his eye. Maybe it's just his forehead.
I don't know. It's after he's
He's-
buried alive.
Something he fights
yeah, I saw that
Valak or
part.
something.
I think he's either. Oh no, he's fighting the embodiment of that boy that he failed.
Oh,
at the
that's right. That's
exorcism.
right.
I don't remember exactly how the boy does it, but you know.
Yeah.
I do know that Tessa Farmiga is really good at spitting Jesus blood at demons.
Oh shit!
Yeah, she
missed that
because
part.
like
I like that.
Oh, you missed the ending.
yeah, no, because basically Valak's trying to grab the blood of Christ to get rid of it, but like Tessa Farmiga has been clever. She drank Jesus blood and then spits
And
in
then
it.
she
in her-
gets super strong. And she starts punching fucking demons in the face.
It's.
That's how you get Jesus.
I'll talk about it
The power of Christ compels you.
in the Predator as well. Sometimes I hate when horror films or there's a monster where they do it in Jason Goes to Hell too. So like Jason like punches through a dude and rips his heart out. In this, Valak can make people like disembodiment, break their bones and stuff. But when they get to the main characters, Valak tries to drown her. I'm like, why doesn't she just rip her head off?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Maybe maybe Valak wants her to suffer, like blah 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 blah,
Maybe.
or it's just Tessa Farmiga's a star. and the
suffer.
others are
Well,
not.
no,
Suffer from
it's just-
drowning, which isn't as bad as
So-
suffer from break all your bones.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. So I mean, in Jason Goes to Hell, he's punching like hearts out of people, and then at the end, he fights the dorkiest dude named Steven, and he tips over like a jungle gym and punches him. Why doesn't he just rip him in half?
Well,
I'm out of ideas.
Yeah,
there's a jungle gym.
It's almost as if Jason Goes to Hell is a flawed film.
yeah, no, but I mean, Jason Goes. I'm just using an example because a lot of horror films do that, where the monsters are super powerful, then we're not going to do this. We're going to drown them or choke
Right.
them or whatever.
Right. No, I feel you. I don't know.
Just like a
Again, like
Predator.
Yeah.
it's certainly like not as bad as the first Annabelle, but
No. Like I
it's
said,
it's just again, like my biggest issue is Damian Bashir is a really good actor, and I want to see more of him in that movie, or at least develop him better.
Does he play Christ's blood?
No,
he plays a father sent by the Vatican.
yeah, and he has issues in his past because he had an exorcism that went wrong, and he's regretted it ever since. But it's underdeveloped and kind of means nothing in the long run. Sorry, Brad. The Nun.
So, Brett, did you like it?
I don't know if I can give a fair assessment. If I can only assess the 20 minutes of the movie that I watched, then that's no. It's a no. And I'm not on board for finding out like the rest of the saga or whatever. Anyway, the other thing I watched is Thief, which is James Caan. I watched it because it's a Criterion, and it got like a lot of people say like this is like Drive kind of ripped it off.
Well, I mean, the font style for the cover, yeah.
and the music, I guess. The Tangerine Dream soundtrack is very similar to the Drive soundtrack, but
Thief was also made when that music was popular.
yeah, and he drives around sometimes in a car, so there's that. But other than that, like, I did not enjoy it that much because James Caan's character is a huge. He's a thief,
and he's James Caan.
and his character's a dick because he's like
James Caan.
he's into this. Yeah, he's into this waitress at the
So
diner. He
Baby
hangs out
Driver
at.
stole from this
Yeah.
movie. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think Baby Driver acknowledged that he is one of the inspirations for it. Anyway, but then like he meets up with her for a date, and like he was late, so she's really upset. And he like throws her around and like forces her to like continue going on the date, and they go somewhere else, and confesses how much like he's in love with her. It's very possessive, and you're just like, ugh, back off, old man. But yeah, it's a standard. He has a certain code of like, I only do these jobs this way, and then this crime boss comes along and says like, I'll pay you a lot more to do this one thing that kind of breaks your rules. And he's like, okay, well, you've convinced me. And then they
Money
spend the
convinces
movie
me.
Staking out the
I'm a capitalist at
I'm
heart.
actually pretty cheap.
score's too big to pass this up. I guess I could let some of these rules slide.
Yeah.
And of course, after they stake it out and they go through the thing and then he gets double crossed, it's like, oh, I guess I should have stuck to my rules. And then, his friend gets killed because of it. And
That crime didn't pay.
then he's like, first you take my money, then you kill my friend, so I'm going to go kill you guys. And that's it. That's the movie. I think, yeah.
All right. I'm good.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think, yeah.
I thought it was
Yeah.
going to be cooler than it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Especially when it shows up on Criterion and you're
Yeah.
but not everything on
I
Criterion.
mean, I can
is
see
good.
why it's a Criterion. It's still very artsy and like,
I own the Criterion of the Rock, and that's awesome. So
I have the Armageddon one.
but still, like the only thing I like from Michael Mann is Heat.
Yep.
It's the only thing. I don't know how.
I like
I don't-
Collateral.
Oh,
It's like-
Collateral.
yeah, Collateral was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The visuals are terrible.
Yeah, that movie. Yeah.
It's the start of his digital period. It's
Right.
Manhunter is good, but
No,
not for the reasons
not.
it should be.
not if you watch Silence of the Lambs.
It's not if not if you watch Hannibal. No.
Even Red Dragon.
Take away that
Yeah,
expectation.
Brett
and you're
Brett
fine.
Ratner did better.
Ew, don't say that.
It's true. Red Dragon is better than Manhunter, hands down.
As a Hannibal Lecter movie, yeah, but as a piece
Movie?
of its own,
Yeah.
no. But anyway,
And then the very last thing I saw was a cinema classic.
You didn't see that on the podcast. Brad
Oh yeah,
did quotes.
yeah. Yeah.
I always thought it would be boring. Like it seems like it would. Like no one, when it's referenced, people always talk about the same couple things, and they never really like mention the story aspect of it. And that movie was 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh,
Um,
wait. Have you never seen it before?
never.
Okay, so what you're saying is you thought it would be boring because going in, all you knew was the Trumbolt stuff at the end.
The song cue and the apes throwing the bone in the
Okay.
in the monolith. And then
You didn't know-
Hal,
Okay.
I need in the pod bay doors. No, Dave, I can't help you. All those things just over and over again through pop culture.
Right.
What's the rest of the movie? No one explains what it is.
Okay, yeah.
Because I'm guessing no one knows because this movie is confusing as fuck. And all
I mean,
about
I know what it is, but yeah.
a computer going rogue.
Yes.
Yes. Well, yeah.
What? Just cause? Like, I couldn't figure out like why they were on the mission.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not great. They're being, he doesn't, so part of it is Stanley Kubrick doesn't do a great job of telling you, but like, they're,
I didn't expect him to. That's kind of a thing for him.
Yeah. There's supposed to be like, I believe that part of it is, here's what I'll say. You should watch 2010, which is the
Year We Make
sequel.
Contact.
The year we make contact, which explains all of the shit that happens in 2001 and makes them both better movies. Oh, I thought it was a ghost again. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Hey, buddy. Hulk smash.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, you should watch 2010 because that movie makes sense and it has some cool stuff.
Well, I think too that's
God,
Stanley
it's
Kubrick's
all
like
stars.
film style is he never really gives you too much in almost all his films. It's always a lot is left for you to decide.
It's yeah.
I mean, something like Eyes Wide Shut, which I like, but at the end it's like, oh, it's just a game. That's it.
It's weird. Like The Shining might be the most obvious or like easily interpretive of his films.
Yeah.
And that's not. Like I know it's not a great horror film, but it is an interesting film to watch.
I mean, it's a great horror film for people who don't like horror.
Which one?
The Shining.
The Shining.
Oh, yeah, it's not good.
Clockwork Orange is also pretty obvious, but it's also operating on a different set of rules.
Yeah, I
So-
always thought it odd too. Like, I think Clockwork Orange is way more mean than Friday the 13th and stuff. And
Oh, yeah.
because it's Kubrick, like, oh, whatever, they can rape, I guess.
Did he make any good? Oh, Doctor Strangelove.
Well,
Yeah, Doctor Strangelove.
well,
okay, yeah, he made good movies.
Also, keep in mind, Clockwork Orange, when it first came out, was reviled. Like, it was absolute in the same way a Jason movie was. We gave it importance, like, down the line. Like, that's a clear case of, like, oh, well, retroactively, it's a masterpiece. But when it first came out, like, it was not really well received by any critics, and it was banned from a lot of theaters, especially in the UK.
So was this the 4K restoration that Christopher Nolan did for years?
I don't know because it was the Esquire Midnight, which they show it often, so it might be whatever the copy they already have on hand. I mean, it still looked really good, and like the story aside, it's still a beautiful movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
it's gorgeous.
And yeah, I mean, an incredibly important one. I mean, even growing up, I remember my dad talking about how like seeing that movie for the first time, like it was the first time you watched a movie and you saw stars. Like it didn't look like somebody poked little tinsel lights through a piece of plywood. Like you felt like you were in space, and especially the spaceship itself is so well realized with the big, spinning sets and all that stuff. The movie is incredible, and even the Doug Trumbolt stuff at the end is incredible.
That was the only Oscar Kubrick ever won, by the way, was for visual effects for that film.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
not for
pretty good.
anything else he ever did in his
Which is
career.
funny since Douglas Trumbold is the guy who did all the visual effects. But
Well,
yeah.
he was on the same team,
I know.
so but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
he was
So
an interesting man.
yeah, I thought I'd be impressed, and this is like the third Kubrick movie. I've been like, meh.
Yeah. I'm the same way.
It's almost as if he doesn't gel with you.
They're not very good films.
No, I love Doctor Strangelove.
They all look
Yeah.
good.
because
Oh,
it's
they all look
so
great.
goofy.
Storytelling wise, I'm just like,
I think Strangelove, though, is also a common. It's also you've got a lot of great comedians
Oh,
like,
yeah.
elevating that material.
Yeah.
I always feel like that's the least Kubrick film I watch.
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
He's just not very good at telling stories.
Yeah.
He's probably had more
Spartacus is really
fart
like,
jokes in
or
it.
like building characters.
he needs to have any more dick in
Spartacus.
front.
Oh, you're right. Spartacus. I always forget. Shit.
Paths of Glory.
I haven't seen that one.
The
Yeah.
Kirk Douglas movies he did are really
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
And I like I like all of his films, but like I don't revere them the way others do.
I've still never seen Eyes Wide Shut, and I should see that one. But
Fidelio.
Fidelio. Yeah, I guess apparently if you're a doctor, you're going to show your ID and get into everything. Tom Cruise does. There's some things in that movie I'm like, this is weird.
That's how you get into the White House.
Really
right?
well shot, though.
He's gonna be a doctor.
I mean, those orgy scenes, perfectly shot.
I hear there's a Ruben Fleischer uncut version out there that I need to see.
Really?
No,
Might exist. I thought it was Topher Grace, but...
Wait, Topher Grace
'cause
wasn't
he
in Eyes Wide
cuts.
Shut?
stuff.
Anyway,
Anyways.
we're talking about Venom. I was making a Venom joke.
Oh, that's right.
I'm done.
Brad, you done? Good.
I didn't watch too much this week. I watched some more of Paradise PD, which is that really goofy show by the Brickleberry guys on Netflix. And it's about stupid cops and they're violent and it's animated. And it's not everything's funny in it, but it pushes the envelope continuously. So then you laugh at parts like him sticking his hand up some dead dude's butt because there's a phone in it. Because he's trying. So in this episode, like a dead dude dies on one side of the city. And so like it's Diamond City's like the best cops in the world. And then it's Paradise PD are shitty cops. And so the dead guy's ass is in Paradise City. So the chief tries to solve it just by looking at his butt. And then he goes to get his like butt bleach and gets like bleach in his eyes. So the rest of the episode, his eyes are like.
That's a fun jurisdiction
Yeah.
joke.
It's funny. Their drug dog's always doing the drugs. It's stupid. It's funny though. It's violent and like way over the top. And if you just want 30 minutes to kill, there's
sounds
worse
pretty
things,
good.
I guess. I don't know. It's not. It's not smart. I'll just say that.
Sure.
It's just stupid. I also watched on Amazon has these golden classic documentaries, and Cary Grant was on there. And I think it was shot like right after he died because it was shot in the 80s, and he interviews a lot of his co-stars. It's pretty good. It's way better than the Becoming Cary Grant because it isn't so full of itself.
Well, they're also like kind of generally made for VHS.
Yeah.
Like, they're the retrospects you find at the AFI.
Yeah, they're fine.
They're fine.
Yeah.
Actually, if anything, I'm sure there's a Warner Brothers set out there somewhere that has a really good doc.
Yeah,
on
and
it.
I just liked it because it had a lot of his co-stars on there.
Yeah.
Some directors.
They have Katharine Hepburn there going like he was an asshole.
No, she wasn't in it.
I just like thinking that Katharine Hepburn just like shit talks everyone.
I don't know. She seems like she's.
The only one that was nice to me was Howard.
I also for $3.99 you can get Congo on Blu-ray.
Oh shit!
And I need to round.
Bruce
I need to round
Campbell's
out my.
Congo?
Yeah, I need to round out my Bruce Campbell filmography. It's not good.
No.
Like so, it's funny. I watched
Really?
it and I was like, man, have I rated this on Letterboxd? And I went back and I gave it 2 stars. I'm like, it's about right.
There was a really great skit on Freakazoid where they were going to go, Freakazoid and the police officer want to go watch Congo again and play a game where they try to guess which one's a man in a suit and which one's a real gorilla.
And it's even the dialogue's really bad in it. So when Bruce Campbell's on the uplink, it looks like it's a set, and the dialogue is bad. So in this film, is they're looking for a diamond that can make a laser to help a communications company?
Yep.
Yeah.
And-
Well, it's like a whole diamond mine.
Yeah, and then it's like a lost city with Tim Curry being a really bad Romanian accent.
Well, you could just stop at Tim Curry, thank you.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
all sounds like a Michael Crichton thing.
Yeah, and then the monkeys there kill people.
They're apes.
Yeah, I call them
They're
monkeys.
aggressive.
They're aggressive.
Yeah.
And it's
And
rated
at the end,
R.
there's
Like I
fucking
didn't
lasers and shit.
like. There's lots of like fucks in it, and it's pretty gory.
Yeah.
I could have sworn it was PG-13, but as I'm watching it again, I'm like, oh, it's gory, and there's lots of curse words.
Oh yeah.
Um,
And Amy talks.
yeah. Ugly woman. I'm like, oh, this is why I don't like this movie.
You've heard the interviews like with Bruce Campbell talking about this flick, right?
Yeah, hates it.
He's incredibly grateful for like any big studio gig, but he like will openly shit talk.
Oh yeah, it's just get paid lots of money and show up.
Oh yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
And who directed? Frank Marshall directed it too, and it's you're going, man, this is lots of talent.
Yeah.
But
Stick to the bean counter, Frankie.
Frank Marshall's not perfect.
no, but I mean, there's lots of talent
Yes.
that went into this film, and I mean, Laura Linney's the lead actress, and
He did direct one of the greatest action scenes of all time.
yeah, but it's yep. I mean, you can watch it. It's like an hour and 35 minutes or 40 minutes. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
And I mean, every time the gorillas show up and kill people, it's cool, but it's a chore to get there.
Yeah.
It is a chore to get there.
I haven't seen it in probably 15, 18 years.
Yeah, and the transfer's not that good. You can tell that Paramount's just like, we're gonna take a DVD transfer and put it on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
I saw it when I
Slight
Because it's
uptick.
Congo.
Yeah, it's just a slight uptick in detail and stuff.
I saw it when I was 11 because I was on a Michael Crichton kick because I had first read Jurassic Park. but like recently, like when I've been talking with Spencer Kane, he loves that flick. Not like and like just because he admits it's dumb, but he just enjoys watching it.
Sure.
And I was just like, oh really? Like,
Well, they also do the really bad Star Trek original series when anything shakes. The actors like react to
yeah.
it, but
Maybe I
you can
do
tell
need to-
that it's really not shaking.
I'm sure it's at the Best Buy. I need to rewatch it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Check out Congo.
Best
Check
Buy.
out
I can't get a
Congo.
copy of Conjuring 2 there, but I can get a copy of Congo.
Yep. There you go.
Fuck it.
And the last thing I watched was Ghost Stories at Scream Factory's IFC
boy.
Midnight Import.
I get to find out if Ryan's going to kill me.
No, it's so a lot of times with and I said this last week with Hereditary, lower budget horror films. I guess Hereditary is really not that low budget, but their ideas kind of collapse on themselves. Where the setup's really good and it's going really strong, and then the ending, I'm like, meh. It starts falling apart for me because you're trying to explain the supernatural, and I think it's more scary if you don't explain it as much.
Right.
So in the film, this guy is a debunker of psychics or something, and he goes around and tells people that these people are fake.
Just
and,
general skeptic.
yeah, he's a skeptic. And then he gets hired by some old dude. He's like, these are 3 cases I couldn't solve.
Yeah.
And the first one is this night watchman's haunted by this girl ghost. The second one, I thought that the boy actor in it was the most interesting actor in the film.
Oh yeah, he's
He's
really intense.
He's really creepy, and he's like runs over like a goat demon or something.
Yeah, I like how they like you just get enough of a glimpse of that goat.
Yeah, and actually, Martin Freeman's really great in the film. Martin Freeman plays a guy whose wife is about to have a baby, and weird things happen. And he's great in everything, and he shows up later in the film too.
Yeah, in a place you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, so as soon as it got, because I was watching it, and like the 3 cases, so it's basically an anthology, but the 3 cases were done, and I looked down, like, I've only been watching this for an hour? And,
Yeah,
and it's so quick, and then it kind of devolves into something else. And
That's why I don't call it a traditional anthology.
Yeah,
kind
it's
of like
not.
it's almost like that's just a selling point
Yeah.
for the marketing.
I mean, it's well made. Again, it falls apart at the end because it gets too ambitious.
yeah, again, like I still I love the ending, but I have my problems with it because
Yeah.
it just to end it at that point. My biggest issue with it is that okay, well, you've already given us a full scene of his backstory and why he's like feeling guilty about things, but then you just leave it at this point. I'm like, well, okay, then. I guess I don't need to know how he got into whatever accident he's in now that he's in that place, but I kind of do because I kind of like watching that character.
They do say how he got there.
No, I know, but not getting into it a little further. Like
Yeah.
you are kind of
just-
left on a hook there, which is fine for that kind of movie and what it's doing. Actually, the scene where he's dragging him back to the to the gurney is, or the hospital bed is like when he's just like it's some great little acting combined with the editing and stuff. Like again, like I mean, I would put it as a contender for it over like Hereditary, even just because I appreciated the economic filmmaking and how it like looked great even on that budget.
It is more pleasing than Hereditary.
I mean, again, though, my thing is like I enjoy thinking about Hereditary a lot. So
no.
but again, well, I mean, hey, $12. I mean, you didn't sacrifice too much.
No. Ghost Stories is more interesting than even the title gives it. And it's one of those movies I'll probably watch again to see if there's hints throughout it, because there is like little with the numbers, and
There's stuff at the
and the performances are really good in it.
yeah.
Really good.
Oh yeah. Freeman, actually, that might be Freeman's most like daring performance because it's just because of like just that scene where he puts the gun where he puts it and then
No, I get it, but I mean I think him as Bilbo in The Last Hobbit is maybe his best moments on screen.
I was
where
just
he's
saying
talking to Gandalf.
I was more thinking in terms of risk, I guess, but like but yeah.
Fargo.
Fargo. Yeah, he's good in Fargo.
Well, I'm talking about movies. I'm not talking about movies on television.
Okay.
I like.
This week on Real Nerds Podcast, we saw The Predator.
Yeah.
Does actually people go see The Predator?
Sure.
I mean, he's not really a predator.
We
We all voted, and that's cooler.
fuck yeah. Sure. Yeah. I had a lot of fun with the film, but I have a lot of problems with it too. So I'm not necessarily eager to go watch it again. But I will admit I had a lot of fun watching it. So yeah, sure. It's fun watching predators do things, and even if not all those things make sense. So.
Brad, should people see The Predator?
It's not the Predator movie that I was hoping for, but I think it's still pretty fun. It's more in line with Predator 2. So if you're looking for...
They do reference Predator 2 quite a bit in it, too.
Yeah. So, if, we're all looking for a sequel to the first Predator, and this isn't it, but there's still some fun stuff in there. But there's also some dumb logic jumps and location gaps that kind of leave you going like, what's going on in this movie? And actually, I was telling James, like, I was hoping for a Predator movie that expands the mythology of the Predators a little bit more. And this one finally does it, and it's kind of wasted. So,
James?
So I certainly struggle with this one because I would say, yeah, I had fun 80% of the time in this movie and was like, along for the ride, having an action movie, there's a predator, they're fighting it, it fights them, so most of the time it wins. I think there's some really cool stuff in this movie. But I have already told a couple people not to go see it, so I guess I have to say no. The things that are bad about this movie are so frustratingly bad that, like, I think people could rent it unless you really are like, oh man, I want to go see a Predator movie. Then okay, yeah, go, yeah, like but just know like you're not gonna get something that I think Predators is better, which disappoints me because I had pretty high hopes. And I think the reason why it rubs me so wrong is that I feel like I can see the bones of something great Shane Black wanted to do.
Yeah.
I think it was 2.5 hours long, and I think they cut 45 minutes of the movie out, and all the flesh they cut out was the good stuff. And so all you have is action and comedy, and it works. But I ended up kind of leaving frustrated. And I think the last scene is so bad that if I ever watch this movie again, I will turn it off before that scene happens. So yeah, anyway. That's how I felt. Ryan, should people go see Predator?
I'm in the same boat as Brad. I'll give you some insight to how I review movies. Is everything's on a scale of 10, and then I start taking away points for stuff I don't like. So for Predator, I really like the Predator. I like the action in it. Some of the stuff was really funny. But then I'll take so it's 10 out of 10. So it goes down to 9 to 10 because there's some editing issues in the film.
Sure.
Then it goes down to 8 out of 10 because there's some logic gaps in it.
Yeah.
Then it goes to 7 out of 10 because then there's like, well, wait a minute. How did they get here when she was just knocked down over there and all of a sudden she's jumping on the Predator? And where did she get the hollow ball to disappear? So there's parts in it. So
yeah, but it was cool.
So yeah. So I guess what I'm saying is I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars because there's enough there where I like it.
Now it's a scale of 5?
Well, because you have to start at 10 to take it away because Letterboxd doesn't have 10.
Always divide by 2.
Yeah, because Letterboxd doesn't have a 10-point scale.
Okay.
So yeah, if you want to see a Predator kill things.
That's, again.
Right, which is great.
That's why I say sure.
Yeah.
Because, like, at the end of the day, he does kill things.
And if you're a fan, it does expand on the mythology of them.
Yes.
So it's cool. But yeah. It should took place during Christmas and it'd probably be a better Shane Black film.
Oh, yeah.
It makes sense why it's on Halloween for some scenes. But
there should have been a moment where there was a drunken department store Santa walking down the street and then comes across the
He just
Predator
really needs
and
Robert
just
Downey
blows
Jr.
him
in
away.
it.
Yeah, that would have been a great
Robert
cameo.
Downey Jr. was like the bad government guy. That'd been pretty sweet. Anyways, here's the trailer for The Predator.
Do you know what my job description is? I'm in acquisitions. I look up and I catch what falls out of the sky.
What's on the ship?
Tell me about the mission. Did you see anything unusual?
It's above our pay grade.
Do I get a cookie now?
Look, I get it. Something went down in Mexico. Nobody wants any witnesses. We need to know if you and your men pose a threat.
We're Rangers.
Hey, Baxley, if your mom's vagina were a video game, it'd be rated E for everyone.
Isn't posing a threat kind of the fucking point?
Predators just don't sit around making hats out of rib cages. They conquered space. But that's not what's on the horizon.
Should I be worried?
Riley. I think you know what is on the ship. The ultimate predators.
Light him up! We may die. We're still here. So come and get us, motherfucker.
The story of the Predator is the Predators are coming to Earth more frequently. One gets captured.
It opens in space. There's
it does
some
open in
space
space.
action,
Yeah,
which
it's
was
like
pretty cool.
They do.
Yeah,
like
you can see how they rip like through space and time.
Yeah,
right. They got crazy warp drive thingies that tear open space.
Yeah,
like a space claw.
We gotta ask Neil deGrasse Tyson if those are possible.
Right.
And then he crash lands, and the Predator shows up. The opening's pretty cool.
Yes, the hanging body in the tree was dope.
Yeah. Well, I was saying like to James when we were driving home after seeing this, there are genuinely fun little haunted house / horror moments in the flick, which I enjoyed.
Yeah.
They're few and far between, unfortunately, because they mainly focus on the action element of that. But I like it when he like rips spines out and like is dangling people from trees. Like that's the Predator I liked watching.
And it's cool that they gave a reason why they rip spines out.
Yes,
like that stuff's
cool.
And then to see it, because I was reading it when I was seeing the trailers that humans made a super predator, and then you find out they're just evolving themselves and trying to make themselves better.
Yeah, like that premise is pretty cool. Like, Brad had said that before the movie, and so when that happened, I was like, this is kind of exactly what. I mean, I kind of made fun of it when he said it, where I was like, I don't really want to see a movie where like we learn about how predators breed, and then I think that's kind of what I got, and it was pretty good.
Olivia Munn has that great line too, and they're trying to explain it away. It's like, so you want me to see if this predator fucked a human?
Yeah.
They go, yeah. And there's stuff like that, and the little boy, what does he say? He's like, then don't go fuck yourself because it's opposite or. It's some
reverse psychology.
Reverse psychology,
psychology. I can do that too.
Really quickly, my favorite cameo in that entire film, Jake Busey. Just wandering through that film for like a good 5-10 minutes.
Keys is the name of his dad in Predator 2.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's
Gary Busey's dad is really his dad in that too.
Gary Busey's dad is really Jake Busey.
Yeah,
Jake
so
Busey's
it's a nice callback.
Yeah.
And it's interesting too because my problems with Alien vs Predator is they try to make the Predator a good guy by signing to the other woman, but in this he was a good guy but not that good.
Yeah,
he's like, you fuck with me, I'm gonna destroy you.
Their world,
on
our
a mission,
war.
in the way else.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But then the first Predator is the super Predator, like you said before, he mutilates
exactly
the Predator, but then he has a chance to like get the boy from the other two people, and he just like pushes him away.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I hate when the villains in horror films, they're tearing people apart, and then he gets to the end, and he's like, "Get out of my way."
Yeah.
If that was really, he should have picked him up and just ripped his spine off.
In fact,
and
the movie probably would have been really awesome. Like that would have been a cool turn if our main character at that point just got ripped in half, and then it's Olivia Munn has to try and keep this kid safe.
Exactly.
Like, suddenly that turns that movie on its head.
Yeah.
And so that's a part too where I felt like a lot was edited out. Because they capture the Predator, Super Predator captures the boy, throws him in the pod, and then his dad's on the spaceship trying to save him, and all of a sudden he has a radio, and the kid has a radio.
Oh yeah,
that was never explained.
There's all kinds of moments where they're like, well, where would they meet, and like scenes just start and you don't know how anyone got there.
Yeah. So and then later in that scene, Olivia Munn shows up. She has the camouflage cloak. Where did she get it? Like,
also, how does she run like 20 miles to catch up to him?
There's something missing in this film, and a lot.
Well, and the bigger problem to me is like at the end of the film, there starts being this section where they're out in the woods and they're working together and they're being a little military crew trying to kill this predator, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, some cool stuff starts happening. There's some neat action, some weapons that kind of come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Where all of a sudden they're like shooting gas and burning him and stuff, and you didn't get any setup there. But the bigger problem to me is, as characters start dying, there starts being these like links and emotional ties, and like it's like you start seeing things land, but that were never tossed up in the air. And what I realized as we were driving home was I was like, oh shit, like this is a movie where Shane Black said, I have a pitch for Predator, and it's I'm going to take mentally wounded soldiers and reconstitute them into a like platoon that can fight a predator. And I'm like, and that's such a great idea.
Because that's how they redeem themselves.
You look at the bones, like here he takes these guys who've been in one way or another wounded by being soldiers, and he's trying to redeem them back into being these, proper humans and soldiers so they can fight this monster.
Mm-hmm.
And that's such a cool thing. And as you start seeing their relationships land at the end, I realize I think there's a good amount of footage early in the film of those guys, of us learning about those characters and them like, or maybe it was never even filmed. Maybe it was just in the script that he wrote a 2.5-hour Predator movie and they said, you got to chop all this stuff out. Cause it was really frustrating.
It sucks too, especially because there's a lot of like those side characters are fun, like all in that platoon. Like I loved Thomas Jane and Keegan-Michael Key in this flick.
Yeah,
but they are criminally under fleshed out. Like in terms of just like they get one slip in of like, well, this is their real story, is that they're lovers, and I'm like, well, that's cool. Don't just drop that all of a sudden.
Yeah,
and
it's
then,
a really big throwaway part.
Yeah, and then, but I mean, although it is kind of ish paid off in the way they do the suicide pact essentially after they're like flung into trees, and it's a beautiful shot that he shoots of like that diagonal, like it's like a comic book panel in a weird way. It was really fucking neat.
Yeah. I mean, there's also a great moment too. Shane Black's wit permeates through this every once in a while.
Oh yeah.
There's a part where his ex-wife gives this speech, and what's the long hair? I forget his name. He gets his legs chopped off by the force field.
Sure.
The guy likes the Bible.
Yeah, the guy likes the Bible, where he says, your speech really wasn't that inspiring, but nobody calls me a pussy.
Yeah, like those guys' banter is so great,
Yeah.
and usually he would take those characters and make them all learn to respect each other, so that then at the end when they start fighting a predator, you're like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And so but I didn't even realize that's what was happening until they all start fighting the predator, and I went, oh, like there was something here and it just doesn't fit,
Yeah.
And the kills are pretty creative too. Like,
like the violence and the action is pretty well shot and
the
staged.
force field cutting off that guy's legs is sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how he brings down the Predator's, spaceship. He jumps through like the turbine. I mean, that's pretty sweet
that
too.
was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, even some of the stuff I didn't understand when it was happening seemed cool, like whatever the gas was that they light him on fire with and that kind of stuff.
Sterling Brown with like the arm cannon.
Oh yeah,
arm
blows his own head off.
Blows his own head off on accident because he looks the wrong way.
Because he looks the wrong way.
That's what happened. Okay, I didn't get that.
It was so brief.
It was so fast.
brief.
I didn't understand.
And they
what
have
happened.
that throwaway line with the little kid too. He's like, it just does it on its own. So when he perceives a threat, he looks there and. Yeah, I mean, even the Super Predator ripping the other Predator's head off is awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and the Super Predator looks cool.
Yeah, and the premise is cool.
Yeah, like it's just unrealized potential.
I do feel like the whole thing with the son being autistic and the Super Predator coming for him.
I love that element.
It was cool. I feel like it didn't land for I knew that's what was happening.
Right, and I mean,
so it was just like okay.
I appreciate them fleshing it out as much as they did because it still permeates throughout the film. but I agree. Like they need to.
And he murdered someone. I guess we just throw that away.
Yeah, but they needed to elaborate a little further
the
on
kid?
that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I guess the kid didn't murder someone.
No,
the mask did.
Yeah, but you know
It's
what?
just manslaughter.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Throwing rocks at autistic kids, like just yeah.
Yeah.
And then, scaring those kids, make sure they don't mess with him. Like, he's going to be the most
great.
feared kid around the neighborhood now for the right reasons and not the wrong reasons, right? But also, like, I just, again, like, I don't know what I was expecting for the 4th, 5th, 6th Predator movie if we're not counting AVPs or not.
Right.
And so, like, with Shane Black's name attached, I think that there was an expectation in my head that I don't, like, that I shouldn't have relied on, because even though it's Shane Black, it's still a franchise, and that's going to be heavily scrutinized by the studio that's making it. So I agree. Whatever great story he had was definitely gutted, which really sucks, because there is a lot of like good bones in here to throw into a pot of water and make a good broth. But
now you got a stew going.
Carl Weathers from the first Predator. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like I want more that I'm not getting. You know what I will say, though? Sterling K. Brown gives not my favorite performance of the year, but I will give him the award of most interesting, because it certainly is not something I've seen him do before.
And he's just a bad guy.
Well, he's a bad guy, but he is an eccentric, gum-chewing bad guy in the vein of like a fucking like. When we talk about crazy actors, he's drawing off of that crazy. Like,
It was fun they had that truce.
Yeah.
Like most other movies, they would have like killed each other, but
right.
they're like, yeah, this is insane. We should team up.
Yeah.
And then I guess should we talk about the MacGuffin?
Oh yeah.
The
That is the thing that
Iron
rubs
Man
me.
Predator.
Yeah. I don't mind it if they're going to use it. I don't know if they'll make another one. If they use that technology and go to like the Predator's home planet to fight them, I think it'd be sweet. But if you look at the pod, it said like pod number 3, so the Predators like write English on their pods.
So to me, it was more frustrating because it's like, okay, the premise is that this Predator knows that we're killing our planet, and so he's come to give us something to help us. But then the thing he gives us is an Iron Man suit with dreadlocks
to fight Predators.
Honestly, looks like the CG on that suit looks like mid-90s fucking some weird 5th RoboCop spinoff.
That was
it's so bad.
And that was a dumb line at the end. That's my new suit. Make sure it fits.
Yeah,
that sounded extremely sarcastic. I'm sorry.
That scene made made me mad, and wasn't what I want. Isn't another movie where like some Predators come to Earth and we fight them with a robo suit.
It confused me too, because I was like, I after a few seconds I was like, nah, it's a sequel setup. But at first I was just like, wow, this is the most awkward ending ever. And then I was like, oh, sequel. Fuck.
And they're also addressing a threat that isn't that big, because there's been like 3 Predators have shown up on Earth. It's like it's not an epidemic.
Yeah, like a bunch of guys who weren't
more
prepared.
Predators have shown up. Remember at the end of Predator 2, he's given all these trophies, like the gun from the 1700s, and like the Predator's like, we'll be back.
And Sterling K. Brown says they've come multiple times, but he's only mentioning obviously Predators 1 and 2. He's not even talking about like all the other potential times they could have come in sequels, prequels that we could also.
Yeah,
have.
but yeah,
But
you mean like the
they're
threat.
also not killing like millions of people all at once,
right?
like,
Exactly.
Independence Day style.
They're not like declaring war on the planet.
But you know what?
Sweet,
that would go against their rules of hunting for sport.
Dude, what if the next Predator is like the like Thanos' warships, and they just drop down and it's just a bunch of Predators run out? Oh, that'd be awesome.
And then it's just over in like 20 minutes.
I mean, Kevin Feige's actively reshooting Avengers 4 all the time, so why don't we just get him to do that while we're at it? I mean, I agree with what we figured out the other night, which is like the end of that movie should have been fucking the Terminator coming out, and it's like a battle of Stan Winston creations.
Yes, that's what I wanted. What I wanted was Arnold Schwarzenegger to be in there, and then when the news came out about what the original like scripted ending was, I was like, oh yeah, that's way better. Like, so I don't know.
No, I would have liked to have Dutch pop out of that pod and been like, where have you been for like the last bunch of movies, and then it just ends, and then the next movie is explaining it.
Yeah.
Right. Well, or it's just like, Dutch got abducted, so now he knows everything about the aliens, and now we're gonna fight aliens.
Or he gets out of the pod and says, "I have a headache," and one of those doctors says, "Check to see if he has a tumor," and then he goes, "It's not a tumor."
Also,
then
where's
credits.
the Predator vision in this movie? I didn't see any like heat vision.
There's a couple shots.
Yeah, like
there's a
they're
couple.
few and far between, and they're mostly squaring in on that kid's name.
He very rarely. Yeah,
Well,
that's right.
no.
He only uses it in the kid's bedroom.
Well, that's like the interface vision. Like,
Yeah.
there was no heat vision.
No.
Like, stuff.
No.
Because they didn't even have the mask on hardly ever.
Yeah.
Though they really wanted to.
Well, the one
play
Predator
up.
was wearing his own, and
Yeah.
they just never showed.
Yeah.
I figured if you're making a Predator movie, you'd call back to that.
Yeah.
He doesn't really hunt people very often. Oh, question. Okay, do we ever figure out why naked Olivia Munn doesn't get murdered?
I
Because
assume
she's not a threat.
like
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think they kill women because they think they're weak.
No, I don't.
I don't
she
think
didn't
they
have.
ever
I
knew
don't
that.
think she had a gun. So there's no.
Yeah.
Well, those scientists didn't have guns.
Yeah. Well, they had those plastic guns.
Yeah.
No sport.
And she was in a position where she was clearly not threatening him or standing her ground.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah.
I thought she had a look on her face of like, she was like, "Oh, thank you for not killing me," but also like, "Why aren't you killing me?" Like,
Yeah,
what
well,
about me
that
is-
too. He had a
I thought
different
it-
mission too.
Right. I thought I was afraid something was going to happen where it was like, oh yeah, no, the Predator's here to take all our women because we've been having sex with humans. Like, I literally at one point was like, this is weird. I mean, that makes the most sense.
I mean-
it was just such a bizarre scene to me that I didn't know why. She could have just run away and avoided him.
I'll be honest. She's naked next to a Predator and naked next to Jake Busey, and I'm fearing one of those things more than the other. And guess which one it is? Jake Busey.
What did
I think
I saw him in a.
got chopped up.
What did he do? He blew up the first machine in contact, man. That's what he did.
That's right. That's right. That's what he did.
What did he do?
He's an insane
I literally still.
monster.
I see that guy and I'm just like, ugh, creepy.
That family has the most expressive eyes and teeth in Hollywood.
Especially when he's blonde, it just creeps me out.
Oh yeah.
Next week, I don't know what we're gonna see.
House of the Clock on Us walls.
I guess.
What if we go see it in IMAX, guys? We get the Thriller video.
The Alamos having like a lot of specialty like
Or you-
one-offs. We should try to grab one of those.
Like, I mean, I want to see Mandy. I don't know if anyone else wants to see Mandy.
We can see. Mandy.
Oh, I do want to see Mandy,
I guess I'll say Mandy.
and I still want to see A Simple Favor because I like
Simple
Paul
Favor.
Feig, so.
I think Fantastic Fest is next weekend.
Oh yeah,
too.
I might see A Simple Favor.
Yeah.
I'd see that.
I'll
I've
figure
heard
it
it's
out.
like an elegant little Hollywood, like thriller-ish kind of thing. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I like Anna Kendrick.
I'm down.
I saw The Shallows. But
Yeah,
you're gonna
I'll
go
get
buy
an
it.
iPad app.
Like Lively.
Cool. Well,
Cool.
thanks for listening. Thanks for all the dudes being here this week.
Dudes. Yeah.
Way to go, bros.
When we leave, do we have to get to the chopper?
Get out.
That wasn't great. I know.
Yeah, this is your house and you have to leave.
Yeah.
Bye.
I'm just gonna go out
Bye.
there. Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Real Nerds Podcast. Real Nerds Podcast is a production of Nebulous Visions Multimedia. Thank you to Sparks Mandrill and Plan 9 Studios for our kick-ass theme song. Also, if you're in the Denver area and you're looking for a cool place to see movies, we see them at the Alamo Draft House in Littleton and now also in Sloan's Lake. Thank you to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics for supplying us with all our comic needs, especially you, Andrew. You know who you are. And a big shout out to James's mom. I'm giving you an electronic hug that you can feel through the airwaves. Thanks for listening, and have a nice day.